Excuse me.
What the hell's today's date? The 24th?
It's like 28 or 9 or
It's somewhere in this fucking year.
28 or
53rd,
28 or
7th.
9ers. It's fucking 8:30.
Today's date. Friday.
All right, we are broadcasting to Facebook now.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Let's make sure that that's working before I pull us up.
My God, it's working.
Let's see.
Yeah, from that, yeah.
Okay, it's live to Facebook. We are live on Facebook. Let's find that. Before everybody can hear us, by the way. They just can't see us yet.
Oh
What's
no.
going on here? What's up? What's up, everybody out there? We're just making sure everything's running if you're watching already, which some people might be watching. There are people watching already. Hold on.
See, I guess I shaved for this.
Oh, there we are. There we are. We're live. We're live.
Yeah, I gotta eat out.
Hold on. Now is the time to share. No, I just want to share like a normal person.
Sharing is daring.
Stones, you got all sorts of sayings tonight.
Sharing. Do you dare to share? Do you dare to share? Do you care to share? You dare to share? Is it daring? Is it a daring attempt? Is it a daring feat? Is it something we have to... All right.
I love how good the closed captioning is. As you talk, it's just coming up on the screen.
Oh, that's wonderful. It is, really. I don't see it myself here.
All right. We are about to, so everything seems to be working, right? Where is it? That's us. That's not what I want, though. I want
Mercy.
something different.
Mercy.
This one,
So I bought a baby dehumidifier, and I don't think it's doing as well as it's advertised.
Oh, man. Not in this soup. Not in this soup. Lord have mercy. I was soaked by 8:30 this morning.
Like, I've had it on for like 6 hours, and there's hardly any water in the container. It's really annoying the shit out of me. Because I feel sticky
Sure.
with you guys right now.
Sure.
Oh, you're probably going to hear my air conditioner kick on. If it's really bad, Rick, let me know. Seriously.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Just trying to get things to work properly.
Yeah, I'm on. Fix it up, you know.
Don't.
Fix it up, you know.
What is the deal with this? I always have a problem with this. All right, I'm gonna get us started. People are gonna be able to see us now. All right, there we are. We're live.
Live and direct.
How is everybody? I'll take that as What's the deal with this?
Oh,
What I gotta do, man.
I just lost audio from all you guys.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we all just stopped talking to you.
Yeah. is it
Oh,
back?
that's probably more likely.
Exactly what happened.
Clearly, you heard that.
So I got everybody. I got Sarah. I got... Where's Rick? Rick, you there?
I'm here. I'm right here.
Awesome.
I'm just trying to fix something. But y'all can get.
Only-
I'll introduce us. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Awesome Talk Quarantine Edition number 13 on July 24th, 2020. Yes, this is the 13th time we're doing this. We did this show a week ago, and I look back over the course of the last week, and like I say at the start of all these quarantine episodes, you'd think shit couldn't possibly get any fucking worse, but then the week goes by, and you realize how much fucking worse it could possibly get, and now I'm like,
Is it
wow,
worse?
this is bottomless. This is bottomless.
Is it worse though? I don't know, man. Like, it's just like I said.
I don't
Like
take
I
a
said
look at
last week,
Portland. You tell me.
it's just like, it's just bad, and so bad just is normal now. So it's not as bad.
There's
somehow.
there's definitely different levels of bad. There's not just one
Yeah.
kind of bad. I mean, we have fucking
Right.
mercenaries
I love that-
kidnapping people. I think that's bad. I don't think you could be like, man, shit was bad a week ago because we had a pandemic. So now that mercenaries are kidnapping citizens, it's not worse. It's just still bad. No, it's fucking worse.
He just set it up like he was like, shit was so goddamn bad that like bad now isn't bad anymore. It's kind of like, all right.
You know, and we got Miss Maxwell. We're waiting to see if she kills herself.
Yeah, the end of the world is
Quote,
coming.
unquote.
You know, like whatever.
There's
Let's
a lot
leave
going
the
on.
rapture
Yeah,
first.
I don't think she's gonna kill herself. I think she's just gonna vanish into the fucking, island retreat set up for her somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know how far this is going to go. I mean, people have been waiting for it a long time. A lot of people are still in denial. You know,
I
It's-
honestly-
and I'm the conspiracy guy of the group, and I know that. And I don't believe everything that I read, but I'm always looking for that unseen hand. You know, I'm always looking to see who's going to profit off of something. And sometimes things do happen, and then people jump in after the fact to profit. So I think there's a mix of that, and then also you have your just, people are devious and they'll look to exploit.
Dude, I don't believe
Without
for a
a doubt.
fucking second. I don't believe for a second that Jeffrey Epstein is dead. I just don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
an
believe it.
interesting
Like, you would
argument.
need to fucking have that dude's body in front of me and then have them DNA test it in front of me with the results happening in front of me for me to actually believe that fucking guy is dead. I don't believe it.
I mean, what some of these victims and witnesses are reporting too is ridiculous. I mean, they're describing basically a castle, a modern day like type castle with underground bunkers, all that, and people with money, they have the money to do these things, and whether
The
you're
guy
rich-
owns a fucking island to put child sex
There you go.
workers. Like,
there you go.
if he could do that, I mean, the fuck? They had every single fucking room of every one of his places bugged and fucking surveilled. And the reason why was to get fucking dirt on literally everyone. I mean, people wondered for a long time where he got so much money. How did he make so much money? It didn't make any sense. It was all really up in the air. It's like, where did all this fucking money come from? It's not that much of a fucking hard thing to figure out. Like, the guy's business was fucking sex secrets. Like, you can get away with anything you want if you have fucking pictures of a prince fucking a fucking child.
Pretty much. So there's that going on as well.
That's always been going on. That never stopped
Well,
going.
yeah,
Well,
what's a big deal?
Can
Take
we
a deep
please
breath.
Crazy stuff.
start some sort of fucking online fucking anger fucking push to get the media to stop using the term child sex workers? That's not a child sex worker. That there's no such thing. It's a rape
Right.
victim.
Yeah, it's
There's
a
no
victim.
such thing as a child prostitute, okay? That doesn't fucking exist. They're fucking rape victims. Stop trying to soften the blow on the rapist by calling rape victims other things.
Word up.
It's
yeah.
kind of like when Fox says that it's a re-election as opposed to just an election.
Yeah, man, exactly like that.
Well.
Exactly like that.
You gotta sell it.
I had a topic to start the show tonight, but I'm glad I got fucking tripped up over here so that this could start rolling. But
Hi, Kristen. Hi, Amy. Hi, Laura.
hey, what's going on? Let me fix this.
Well, bottom
Hey,
line,
Anthony,
there's just
Isaiah.
crazy stuff going on, and like you said, it's not all new. It's things that, but things. Now we live in a time where information, bad information as well as good, though, travels like it never has in history. So, you just gotta, have that discernment, know how to sift through things. I think is really important. And
I had a conversation with somebody about this today because they were talking about, people are still arguing about whether or not a mask is a good thing or a bad thing, which is we've hit a ridiculous level. It's July, for fuck's sake. No matter what you think about how resistant it is, if you put anything in front of air, you're gonna have some resistance there. Like it's not. You don't need rocket science for this.
right.
But
I mean, it's blocking the splatter,
yeah, it's fine.
which is important.
I don't know. No. Oh yeah. Well, yo, chat. What's chat? Pat. If you want to get in the chat, send me a message, man, so I can get you on the show, dude. Because I got to invite you. Send me your Skype name.
Amy just said the fact that pedophiles are still trying to be validated online absolutely baffles me. Well, the reason why is because they get so much leeway to do so. We give pedophiles more leniency than fucking almost anything. They get off fucking, like, they don't get in trouble. They don't fucking, like, how many powerful men
I like how you're
backtracking.
I like how you're backtracking that sentence, Sarah. That's kind of funny.
We let pedophiles fucking get away with everything. Our entire society is set up on sexualizing children. We and in ways that even innocent people partake in. There shouldn't be shows that have like 8 or 9 or 10 seasons about child pageants where they have bikini contests and bathing suit contests and they're like fucking 7 years old. Meanwhile, they have like 40-year-old male judges. We sexualize children. We prepare for this fucking mindset early on.
And they're bombarded. It's like they don't have a choice. You know, they're totally bombarded from every angle. You know, we live in that. It's just, it's twisted. So yeah, I totally agree with Sarah. It's almost celebrated. Well, it is celebrated.
It's celebrated in a million ways, dude. How much porn has all of you seen, even not necessarily looked for or watched, but on any porn channel where there's like constant porn stars acting like children, dressing like babies and children, sexualizing the idea of a child. This is part of our society. It's ingrained in our society to sexualize children. So yeah, Amy, the answer to your question is the reason why pedophiles look for validation is because they're already fucking given the validation.
Yeah. And the people, like, you know, and people with power that are doing things like that are obviously protected, you know, whether it's human trafficking or raping children or just, you know, getting first in line for their kid for the baseball team, you know, down at the without having to try out like every other kid. You know, that's on the, you know what I'm saying, that fraternal BS that exists, and people look the other way in so many cases. It's just sad.
I am really curious about how this is going to play out with Maxwell, because I don't see any scenario that plays out where she names everybody.
I'd also like to say one other thing about that bitch is I'm sick of everyone saying she was an associate who partook in some of his shit. She's also a fucking rapist, so can we call her one too? You're not less of a rapist because you're a female rapist.
Here's the thing, Rick. The way that any type of a deal works legally, if she's giving up anybody, then she has to give up everybody. And if there's any proof at all that they can prove that she wasn't completely 100% truthful about it, they'll use that against her, and then the whole deal is off. So if she starts naming people, she has to name everybody. If she names nobody, it's one or the other. There's no middle ground here with this.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be similar or the same thing really for Epstein, you know, where. But obviously, I don't know. Somebody had to get him out of there. I kind of tend to agree with Sarah that, you know, the death didn't even occur. Wasn't even a death. That somehow they got him out there. Yeah, I mean, other theories exist out there of places where people go, whether it's in the jungle somewhere or in Israel, or I mean, again, there's a lot of things I think you dig into if you have that discernment not to get lost down the rabbit hole. We find some twisted, interesting, awful, sick things.
We watched a documentary recently where they examined Epstein's jail cell after the fact, and there was so many bizarre things going on with that jail cell, and things that don't even point to a suicide or a breakout, or just odd things. Like there were like extra jumpsuits in there and extra blankets and a bunch of pillows and like weird stuff tipped over. It was like, what the hell happened here? Like, so every fucking thing surrounding this guy has got some strange claws attached to it that no one. Dude,
maybe. The simple explanation
is if you and I stole $50 from somebody, we'd be in jail.
So, Amy, I want to talk about something that Amy just said. because it's actually has to do with something that I say a lot. She said, fun fact, about a year or two ago, pedophiles tried very hard to get into the LGBT community by trying to paint pedophilia as a sexuality, which doesn't make any sense because a kid isn't a gender. And also it's illegal and wrong. But, you know, so I want to make a point about that because I say all the time you can't reform a pedophile. And the reason I say that is because pedophilia isn't like robbing a grocery store where you can reform the person or help them and then they're no longer going to go out robbing stores. While I don't say sexuality because you're right, a kid isn't a gender, I do think that just like you might prefer to date men, date women, have sex with this type of person or that, I do believe that it's a sexual preference. And just like when Christians try to tie up a gay person and, you know, get the gay out of them, which doesn't fucking work. I don't think that you can get rid of someone's sexual preference. I think pedophilia is ingrained just like being straight or bi or fucking gay or anything else. In that sense, that's why pedophilia can't be fucking reformed. You can't fucking make a pedophile not a pedophile. You can only possibly make them not act on it anymore. Do you want to fucking trust your kid around the reformed pedophile?
Yeah, regardless of even like your position on things, adults are old enough to make their own decisions, right, and to govern their own lives to a degree. And you know, when someone wants to compare pedophilia or bestiality, or just to stick with pedophilia, to that, to you know, adults having consensual relations with, you know, whoever they choose. I mean, come on, man. You're beyond left field at this.
Exactly, and the other difference is we're not talking about something that's being chosen by all parties either. You know, the adult is manipulating.
Yeah, well,
so
and you know that even happens too. That's why we have fucking pieces of shit like NAMBLA that exist to try and paint this picture that the little boys that these old fucking men are quote unquote in love with love them back, and that it's a healthy relationship. And the child part of it is partaking in this relationship willingly and knowing everything they need to know to make that decision. So yeah, this has been going on for fucking ever. And, you know, they're not losing the fight. You don't see pedophiles being treated the way a black person that might steal a fucking bag of chips is being treated, are you? So, you know.
Well, if we're on this topic, I also want to just bring up the fact that too that I think as a society that we name a lot of people pedophiles that or we put them under Megan's Law that aren't necessarily justly put there. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I believe that that's entirely true, that people get caught into this wide berth of a net where you know, they unwittingly admit to sexual encounters with people that they were unaware of at the time were the age that they were, and they're within months of the age of consent. And I think that happens a lot more than we like to consider. And that is something that also needs to be addressed in our world. So we need to be able to, need to be able to classify a pedophile as a pedophile, and we need to stop the justice system from raping people who I think don't necessarily deserve to be shafted in the ass.
I've never really heard a person who was put on Megan's Law for having sex with like their 17-year-old girlfriend when they were like 18. I've never heard them be called a pedophile. I've heard them be called a sexual offender. A sex offender can mean a lot of fucking things.
Well, that's the thing. Well, but the people mistake what sex offenders are with pedophiles.
So then I guess the problem is with
they use the word interchangeably.
Yeah, it is. And I know what you're saying, Stones. Like, you make a good point. Like, there's sometimes where it gets, you know, pushed to the point where people are, you know, they wind up being prosecuted for something that, you know, maybe otherwise they when you look at it from...
They weren't aware of?
Where's that, you know, that age of, I don't know, look, I would never in any way justify pedophilia. There's no justification for that. But there's certain things that might, certain situations. I don't know, like what Stones is saying about people will get shafted by the system.
Yeah. What Stones is saying is that a guy goes to a bar. It's 21 and up to get in. You meet a girl at the bar. You sleep with her.
She's 20.
And you find out that she's 17 and she got in because her friend worked there. And you had no reason to believe in a million years that that's what age she was. And now you're a predator. And like, yeah.
Now you're a sex offender. Now you're on Megan's Law for 20 years.
Most of the people,
now you're on probation
I agree
for 20
with Sarah.
years.
Most of the Megan's Law things that I read about are not because of situations like that. Usually it's because you kidnapped an 11-year-old.
There's part of the problem. You don't hear about it because there's different levels of of how you get placed on Megan's Law. That I don't know the specific ins and outs, but I know that that's like either like a level 3 or 4 where basically they're not going to put your picture online, and that's a state by state thing too, I think. So like if you're down in Florida, I think, or North Carolina, like you automatically get your picture posted online. Your address is automatically advertised regardless of the situation. You go to other states and depending on the circumstances, like if it's not like one of these big deal scenarios where you are definitely a fucking like major predator and it's kind of a bullshit situation, they'll put you in the lowest level, which prevents you from getting your picture put online, but you're still on probation for 20 years. You're still on parole for 20 years. If you make any violation that has nothing to do with being a sexual offense at all, outside of traffic tickets, your clock starts over again.
Can I say something now? The last several generations of men, including our generation, is partly responsible for it being that way.
Well, I'm just saying
because look, man, like males, especially white men, have gotten away with so much shit for so fucking long and have fucked up so bad so many times that now that things are people don't even want to listen to anything that's reasonable anymore. And in a way, I don't blame them. Well, that's all. I'm not saying that you're not technically correct. I'm just saying that the emotional attachment that people have to what's happening makes perfect sense to me.
But above and beyond the emotional attachment is the insurance part of it. So you get a background check. That offense obviously comes up with the background check. Now the workman's comp for the company isn't going to insure that person. So now that person can't get a job because they have this sexual offense thing, and they're such a low-level offender that the state doesn't even advertise on the internet. But now they're in this trap. They're in this cycle of this justice system. They're in the mouse trap, and now they're fucked. And I don't want to be the face of the voice for those people, but that's the problem, is that nobody's willing to be a face for a voice for those people, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
I mean, it happens. I think you guys are talking about two opposite ends of the spectrum too, in a way. It happens. Bad things happen to good people. They get caught up in these situations. Then, on the other hand,
can I relate it to something?
I agree to you though, in a lot. Sure, go ahead, Rick.
It's like
I totally agree with you that it's people get off and we nourish this culture. We feed this. It goes back to kind of what Sarah was saying about we over sexualize children and. There's this, but go ahead, make your point.
And the other thing that we do is, we, first of all, you see celebrities a lot get caught with child porn. And I feel like a lot of people in society read that and they're like, oh, they think it's fucked up. But a part of them is kind of like, well, you didn't catch them with a child. It was just child porn. And I think there's this enormous disconnect people have with the label child porn and what that actually is, because the children in those fucking videos are abused children. A lot of them are the victims of sex trafficking. They're kidnapped children. Their entire lives are that they're in one fucking room being raped over and over every day. And then those videos are sent out to the fucking world so that way fucking disgusting people can get off on them. So to just kind of have this ease in your mind that, oh, they were just caught with child porn. No, they're just fucking contributing to child sex trafficking. That's what that is. That's part of the fucking line of sex trafficking. That's part of the fucking conveyor belt. So, like, for that to just be like, oh, well, the guy that was sentenced to a year the other day, not just for child rape, but for all the child porn, that's a fucking ridiculously low sentence. The chick who is locked up for not doing her fucking homework is going to end up being locked up longer than this piece of shit is. Amy in the chat said, children just cannot mentally consent. Right. We don't have the mental capacity to really understand that having sex with adults can be harmful physically and mentally. My 8-year-old self never consented to what my abusers did in her mind. Kids say yes to their abusers because they're afraid of angering or disappointing them. I can tell you that my 7-year-old self also agrees with that. And the weird thing is, when we think about something from our childhood, we think about it with the mind we have now. Oh, when I was 10 years old, I went to Niagara Falls or whatever. And you think about it as who you are now. It's not until you look at a child who is that age that you go, wow, I can't believe how fucking young I was. When I see a kid who's 7, who's the age I was when I was abused, I am shocked at the smallness and the childishness of that, because my mind is now 39. I don't think that way. I think of myself as the adult I am until I see a kid the age I was and realize the actual truth of the fucking disgustingness of the whole thing. But the 7-year-old, they know it's wrong because you feel it in your gut. But like Amy said, the idea of not angering an adult, that you have to listen to the adult or the person older or the person telling you to do something. It's totally fucking different. And the idea of using terms like, child prostitute and all this stuff implies some level of consent that doesn't fucking exist. Right.
It's a word game, dude. It's a word game to downplay. It's what politicians do every fucking time they talk. They play things down. And it's the same thing here, and it needs to be that way because part of our political structure is embroiled in it. And I think that's why there's such a push to keep this as downplayed as possible. It has to be the reason, man, because powerful people, powerful people do a really good job controlling narrative, man. And
oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So like it just seems like it's a word game. When you say child prostitute, it implies the word consent. Right. Sorry. And
media could be doing more to fuel this. You see the headlines; it gets talked about. But if there was a real push for this, and even with child trafficking, like if there was a huge media push, if it was on more, if it was 3 times a day in the topics that are the hot topics, it would get more attention.
Sure. I agree, but unfortunately, it's the media that uses the term child prostitute and all this other shit. They help to protect the powerful men that help to contribute to the organizations they work for.
Mm.
Man.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad. So you got to stay vigilant. I mean, with kids now, like even with social media, like you want to be able to share things. You want to share. I have kids, I have friends with children, but you have to and you got to talk to them, like Sarah was saying. It's
Agreed.
Not the old days. It's not where, not that you could ever trust anyone to that, to the nth degree, but where you could trust a parent, where you could trust an adult. Now it's almost like,
You said talk to them, and like to me that's like the number one most obvious fucking answer, to at least keep your kids.
You have to, man. You have to be straight up. Because
I feel like we watch a lot of 80s shows lately, watch a lot of 80s TV, and like, not for nothing, man, but like a whole generation, maybe 2 generations, was completely influenced in terms of what was acceptable and how to act because they took their cues from their babysitter, which was the fucking television. You watch TV in the fucking 80s and 90s, what we were fed as men, is so fucking twisted. Even from, like, we watched an episode of The Golden Girls, and there's an episode where Dorothy makes a comment about how her husband slipped her a roofie, and that's how she got pregnant. And everyone just laughs.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally fucking normal to do that shit, dude. That's insane.
She makes a small joke that she was unconscious when she got pregnant, and they laugh about it. And I'm like, man, that's pretty fucking dark, Dorothy.
Yeah, right? Wow.
But again, it controls the narrative. It softens the fucking problem, and it makes the problem acceptable. And I really don't see. And look, man, as a white male, I have shame in my heart for being both white and male at this fucking point, man. But I can see how I don't see how anybody could not take note of the fact that we've been living under an actual patriarchy our entire lives, because the narrative has been pushed that way. The narrative's been pushed in that direction.
Of these dickhead judges, man. Like, people always put these judges on these fucking pedestals on, like on this shit. They're like, oh, these judges, such a respected, but they're keeping this society, they're a respected member of the community and blah, blah, blah. Fucking these judges, man, they're so all over the fucking map. They're just people just like the fucking rest of us. And they're putting, like I said, they're putting people that should have no reason to be, on these fucked up lists into these fucking lists. And then they're fucking letting actual fucking pedophiles off with a year sentence. It's like
by the way, Pat is, his mic isn't working, but he's kind of involved in this
I see him.
Tonight's show. He's in the chat tonight, just so everybody is aware of that.
Something I found out recently, this is from Pat, something I found out recently, if you see a person on social media that has MAP on their profile info, it means minor attracted person. Oh my God, dude.
What is it? Minor
attracted means minor attract. In other words, you're attracted to minors.
What that means is pedophile. That's another nice fancy fucking term for.
What is it?
Can we just comment?
Pedophiles are calling themselves MAPs, minor attracted person. Someone attracted to minors.
What's simping? I've been seeing that a lot lately. What is that?
I think that's when you act like an idiot for a minute.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're simp.
Like a simpleton.
Yeah, I think that's what it means. And by the way, I got to say to Generation Z, I'm a little bit disappointed in you guys for using that term, if that's what that's from. If it's from simpleton, you guys are the ones that are on top of all of this offensive language. Like our generation, when we were younger, the reason why things weren't offensive to us in a lot of ways was because if you had a group, first off, as people who are on the cusp of Gen X and millennial, our friendship circles were always a crazy blend of people. And like, as a crazy blend of people, we'd make fun of the shit out of one another. We'd mock one another. We'd call each other names. We'd do all this shit, right? And there was something to that almost made you bond better. Like you were bound as better friends. But as the world became more public, I think it started to infect the narrative where people misunderstood it as this racism is okay. And then we have to change the way we interact with the world.
Our differences, we used to be able to celebrate our differences, but now because so many people take the differences, the jokes, and they make it into actual hate, you can't celebrate our differences anymore. That's the tragedy of the whole fucking thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and people experience obviously different, Americas, depending on where they're from,
sure,
how you're raised, where you're growing up. So that's always interesting to see. But, you learn from that. People should learn from that and respect why others tick the way they tick, why they might be offended more so than others, and where you're genuinely like maybe busting chops with stereotypes or something amongst friends. I have a wide group of friends, you're all green to me, so
But I think we need a different level of generational understanding. And when I say that, I don't think I mean accept your grandparents' racism. I mean understand where your grandparents come from and why they're like that. But your grandparents also should be invested in what their grandchildren are invested in and understand why they feel the way they do and why they talk the way they do and how their world fucking ticks. And I think that if the generations in this world all communicated with one another to find out how we got where we got, we would be a stronger.
Have so much understanding.
You know, I'm gonna read the chat for a second because we're a little bit behind and the comments are blowing up. Madison, hi, sorry I'm late. That's okay. Kristen, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it. This thing is being annoying. Where is it? Kristen, that happens so infrequently, though. Plus, there's lots of states that have Romeo and Juliet laws where if you're close enough in age, it's okay. Plus, the age of consent varies from state to state, which is absolutely true. In fact, hold on. I wanted to say something. Motley Crue actually in the 80s hired a guy from, I swear to God, this is true. They hired a guy whose only job it was to find out the age of consent in the states that they were in, because they were blindly taking drugs and drinking and fucking anything that moved to such a degree that person was put in place to protect them, to check IDs.
I know two chicks that could have got Trent Reznor, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Wow.
So Pat said we were talking about the child prostitution earlier. He said slave porn. That's exactly what that is. Fam, ignorance of the law doesn't equate to innocence. Let's see. Virtuous pedophiles was a thing at one time. Not sure if the site is now defunded.
Virtuous pedophiles. Yeah, I saw
child
that
molesters
comment.
should be neutered. Let's see. I think let's see. Hold on. We got past all of this. Not to mention, it is creepy as fuck for an adult man, even in his young to mid 20s, to be with a teenager. There's a big emotional and mental disparity between someone in their 20s and a senior in high school. Yeah, I agree with that too. Pat said, what kills me is that these people groom them all the while knowing what they're going to do to them. It's a long game. It's not a quick thing. It's a mental abuse on top of physical abuse over and over again. And that's the fucking big problem, man. And that's the difference between, you're at a bar and something happens and you're utterly unaware, to the predator, I think, that's grooming the person over and over, and a person who's chipping away at someone in order to abuse them.
Right.
Because even the chipping, from what I understand psychologically, even the chipping away of the person is part of the abuse for them. It's part of the enjoyment for them. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many. Pat's in the chat. What's up? A simp is a guy who is begging for attention from a woman. Okay, so we were close. Let's see. Simp is slang insult for a man who's seen too attentive and submissive to women, especially out of failed hope of winning some entitled sexual attention.
That's great.
I can see how that came from Twitch, because you got a lot of gamer guys just giving girls in bikinis money for fucking no reason.
Jeez.
Like, picture a dude who's your standard good guy who goes hard for a girl, expecting a sexual favor in return. That's a simp. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, what's the other word for that, Sarah? What's the other word for simp that we always say?
Meathead. Complete. This.
What's the word? The guy, a guy who fuck. What's the word?
A real gym tan laundry.
A bomba cloud.
I don't remember what it is, but it'll come back to me. There's another word for it. I feel like simp's the new version of it. Nikki's in the chat. What's up? Yeah. So I'm gonna change the subject if you guys don't mind, because there's something that I've been seeing a lot of lately that has really been fucking up my days. Is Rob in the chat? Where the fuck is Rob?
Rob peaced out a little while ago.
Did he peace out?
I think his mic wasn't working. Then he came back, and then I don't know. And then he returned. The return of Rob, and then he's.
This says he's here.
Gone.
It says he's in the chat. Maybe he had to go take a piss. Yo, there you are. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. I don't see you though. I don't see you, Rob.
I'm working on it. Hold on.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna jump into I had this problem over here. So when I started the show, one of the things that I've noticed a lot lately, I think that rightfully so, especially in the last couple of years, white men have been taking a lot of shit. And white men, generally speaking, deserve to take a lot of shit. And I completely understand. I completely agree with that. But I've noticed recently that white women are now taking a lot of shit. And if you go on TikTok, right, the amount of videos of middle-aged white women absolutely childishly losing their shit in public,
where's all the videos of the guys doing that? Like, they hardly exist in comparison.
Hold on. I don't want to make. I'm not making it a war. Men.
I'm not either. I'm just saying it's kind of mind-boggling that where's all the videos of the guys freaking out like that?
Okay, hold on. Be careful what you say, Stones, because the next thing you're gonna get is a bunch of fucking meathead jocks punching the shit out of each other in videos, proving your point, proving you wrong precisely. Okay, so be careful what you say. All right, you know
what I mean. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Meathead white boys, come on. We've lived a life. We know. But middle-aged white women absolutely stamping their feet like fucking 2-year-olds in public is getting, like, I don't know whether to laugh or get angry. And then I asked myself, if I were present for this in person and this woman lost her mind like a lunatic over next to nothing, what would I do if I were present?
You know what's nuts is that you watch, you think like, if only I've never encountered that. I've never fucking no.
Are you
not
serious,
like,
Rob?
Not like that. My God.
Oh, dude, man. No, dude.
In like a public place where somebody fucking screaming and yelling at somebody who's employed to work there like that.
Lucky you, man.
No, man. I have never been like appalled by somebody's behavior.
Lucky you, dude. I'll tell you, man. Look, if a guy talked to me the way I've been talked to by chicks on the attack of me for no fucking reason, it would have ended in a fist fight. I think that's the reason why that doesn't happen.
But to be fair, most times if a chick is going at a dude for something, most of the dudes will also say, it's for no reason. I don't even understand.
I guess.
No wrong.
I guess.
She's just crazy, dog.
But what Rick is mostly referring to here are all the videos of white women losing their shit because a black person, like, crossed the road.
Or because you have to get a Starbucks coffee and they want you to put a mask on and you won't fucking do it.
Oh yeah,
did you see the one? Did you see the one with the girl that was in a Target where she ripped the whole shelving down of masks and they went to her house to her sister?
Oh, and then it was because she was Jewish, right? That was the thing with the cops.
When she was in Target, it was because she was white. She was like, "You're yelling at me, a white woman." And then when the police came, it was because she was Jewish. And then she said that she had like 8 connections in the White House. And that she had all these people that were like connected to everything going on. She started reciting like QAnon type shit.
There's nothing better than when white people are in public and they're fucking up, and they look at the person who's like, "Excuse me, you can't do that," and they go, "Do you know who I am? Do you even know who I am? Do you know who I know?" That's exactly what you're talking about.
That's that fraternal.
I've seen that. I always ask him like loudly from across the street, "Who do you know?"
Right. You know, like, who cares, man?
Who are you?
Like, look, I'm off my meds again. I really don't care who you are. Okay.
For 2 days.
I didn't fill my prescription, and I'm just not gonna, I don't care who you know. Too old to care. I got that old man anger, old man strength. Crack, squeeze it out. No, but
old man anger. Knock it off.
But I don't really care.
Cut the shit out.
Nah, man, but these women, man, who cough in people's faces before they leave, and they're like, "Fuck!" But nothing makes me happier than when I see another woman just go, "Fuck this," and they grab her by the hair and throw her on the floor and punch her in the fucking mouth. And I'm like, "Thank you, thank God, thank God."
Rick, I shouldn't even say it's funny, but what's odd is that we were up at a camping area about like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Walking down the trails and somebody walked past us and they were discussing, we walked past them, they were in a group and they were talking about what kids will learn to go back to school with, like how to bully people and how to like be a dick to them. And now because the virus is an issue, spitting at kids, like kids spitting on one another to be funny, like it as a joke, like as if they have that shit. And in the last couple of days, I've been talking to people from public schools and people asking me questions about what's going on with the like school districts and shit, and trying to break it down in connection with the guidelines with the CDC and the state, and then to think about how kids act. Like you're gonna have to stop them every like fucking 10 seconds to put their mask back on because they're gonna fidget with their face. I'm talking about like elementary school, middle school kids. But the point is, kids do malicious shit. They're kind of fucked up to one another. The ones that are rambunctious, if they were to choose to start spitting on kids, you're talking about lawsuits at this point.
100%. And I don't blame anybody either, because at this point, breathing on somebody. I'm sorry.
But now it's like homicide type shit. Like it's.
You know what? It might be, man, because my whole look, I don't go out in public. I haven't been out anywhere public since March 14th. It's been a long ass fucking time, but. You cough on me at this point, that's like you pointing a gun at me right now. And I'm sorry that human bodies were weaponized through this issue. I can't believe that it's almost motherfucking August and we're still having the conversation about what a mask does. If I wear a mask, it's because what I'm saying is if I happen to be sick, I won't spread it. My mask wearing is more to protect you than to protect me. So you need to do that too. So like, it's a public health issue. And I just don't, I don't understand any of this, man. I can't believe it's August and we're having this fucking conversation. I can't believe it's August and people are on Twitter and YouTube and TikTok losing their shit over this. How much more data is needed? Like I think I've said this on the show a dozen times, but
it's not a lack of data. It's that when you have people that don't care about science, it doesn't matter how much fucking data there is, dude. I've said for years on Awesome Talk, science is not pushed in our country. It's not like a star in our education system. We don't, focus on the need for learning critical thinking at a young age. And this is what happens when people don't understand critical thinking, that people can't look at something and just on the face of it, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, without critical thinking, you can say, well, I mean, if you're wearing a mask, why do I need a mask? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But if you don't understand critical thinking and you don't give a shit about science, that makes perfect fucking sense to you.
About how fast this fucking shit spreads. And I don't know if you guys read this, but there was I just wanted to say, Kristen in the chat said, these hands are rated A for anyone who wants to try to cough or spit on me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I gotta say though. So again, it's just from a personal perspective. So I noticed, obviously I pay attention to the numbers. I wear fucking goggles when I'm at work in the truck with the guys. I wear a fucking silicone face mask that has a HEPA filter in it. I wear it in this goddamn heat on the roof, out in the sun and shit. But at the same time, I got to say, like, I've been watching the numbers and, I have a completely different PM 2.5 mask on my 7.5 mile bike ride into work. Hold up. Yo.
The part that Stones leaves out is that he's just always worn goggles. He's just that raver phase that never left him.
Yeah, right.
Right on.
So, but here's the deal. Like I stopped on the ride down the boardwalk. There's plenty of people on the boardwalk and shit. And I at this point, the breathing is too fucked up with the fucking mask on when I'm really doing heavy cardio on the fucking bike. And I take the fucking mask off. And the reason I take the mask off is only because the numbers are super down right now. And if you look at in this state, and if you look at the data says that 90%, 85 to 90% of the transmission that happens happens with 10 to 15% of the people who have it. So 10 to 15% of the people who have it are the people spreading it to 85 to 90% of the other people.
So you know what that means? That means that when you get it, you'll be part of that statistic. So there's that.
Also, you got to consider.
No, that means
but
that 85% of the people. That means that 85% of the people who get it aren't spreading it. Aren't spreading it to that many people. That means the transmission rate is still below 1.1, which is which at 1.1 it becomes outbreak. We touched on 1.11 like a week ago,
right?
But it's below that now in the state.
Did you hear about Middletown? Did you hear what happened in Middletown?
It's so fucked up, isn't it? But that's the thing.
They
so that
threw
means one person went there.
This is what happened in Middletown. Just for people who don't know, in Middletown, New Jersey, somebody threw a fucking graduation party, which they shouldn't have fucking done, right? And they even called it, from what I read, I don't know that this is a fact, from what I read, they called it a coronavirus party. And the only reason I believe that is because they're doing that shit all over the fucking country like it's a joke. And when I read the article 2 days ago, there were 20 new sick cases in Middletown. All fucking trailed back to the same party. Then the parents that allowed it to happen refused to do the tracing. So then another 18 people showed up who were sick, and now it's like 38 people from the same fucking party. So that makes me question the communicability rate. Because I go, holy fucking shit! Because those numbers. But that's the thing. Imagine if New Jersey since March didn't wear goggles, didn't wear a mask, didn't wear anything. Would that communicability rate be the same?
It's from a singular event with poor ventilation and people being irresponsible. So that's where I've taken the choice that I am taking a risk myself by not wearing the PM 2.5 mask, but at the same time. The cardio exertion, riding down that boardwalk, the likelihood of me getting infected in that scenario currently, I'm not saying this is going to be a forever thing, because of that, if the outbreak starts up again, if the fucking numbers start to go up again in a big fucking way, then I'm going to change my behavior. But until that point, I don't think that I'm engaging in super high risk behavior. I am being riskier than I was, but I'm not engaging in high risk behavior.
Here's what gets me, man, is even though we can't see it, a virus particle is a physical thing that needs to get into you to infect you. So as far as I'm concerned,
too, it has to be a certain point. It can't. It's not. You're surrounded by viruses all the time. That it has to be at a certain. There's a threshold that happens that when you actually get the infection.
Yeah. Well,
you still got to be careful, man. You got to be careful.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Trying to protect other people, and I mean, I'm DJing Sunday, outdoor dining over at the Joint. Weed Man's little plug. Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah, mask required, social distancing. I was there 2 weeks ago, and I was impressed with the way he did it. Now, I still deal with a little guilt of people in your situation, Sarah's situation. Other friends, people I love that are, compromised immune systems. That night we saw you guys was the first night out. It feels like things are, it's not, the numbers aren't going up as much in my town. It seems like people are social distancing, but I don't want to endanger anyone. But, I took the gig. It was really done well, got invited back. I want to go back, but I'm very cautious, and I guess cautiously optimistic. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes from there. But I hope that.
Again, my whole point is I'm a firm believer in above and beyond. Obviously, going above and beyond the call to make sure that everyone's safe, including myself. But I think there is also a certain level of acceptable risk, and I think that's a personal responsibility that you have to kind of figure out where those. Where that lies.
I just, I am so disappointed in people in this country who do not hold whatever you just did, Alien, actually helped. So you want to do whatever that was again.
Okay. Just now?
Yeah. I heard
that's
it
better.
Like sort of. That's better. Definitely
okay,
way better.
Cool. Cool.
But I'm disappointed in people in this country who aren't more disappointed in the federal government's response to this completely and fucking totally. The fact of the matter is none of you should have to feel compelled to go to work. The amount of your life and time and the hours that you've existed on this planet has amounted to a certain number of taxes that have been pumped into the system. And the idea that people aren't just more like people want to back up their ideology more than they want to back up the solid facts. They want to back up the fact, and I see it every day, especially now. If there's a fucking problem with the budget or taxes, everybody fucking, if you're a Republican, you blame Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. If you're Democrat, you blame fucking Trump and Bush. And it's like, you do understand, and Stones, you've made this point before about PPE. You do understand that none of these fucking people put any of our fucking interest in the front of this when our tax dollars were being pumped into the system in the first fucking place. And like, I'm going to really...
In the same breath, though, you have to remember that the median age of people experiencing mortality is 78 years old. There's over 4 million cases in the U.S. now, and the mortality rate is 140,000. That people that are in high risk categories are being sheltered at the same time. I'm not arguing against taking precautions at all.
Dude, I think part of the problem with this discussion is like what you just said, basically, is people keep saying, well, this many die and it should be, it's pretty low and stuff. And it's like, fine, let's just forget about the fucking people that are going to die from this. Let's talk about the people that survive it, because everyone seems to think that just like when you get the flu and then one day it's over and then you're back to normal you.
Right.
But
10%.
That's not what's happening here, dude.
10% of the people who get it, so 10% of the 4 million, so 400,000 people at this point that have long-lasting effects way longer than the 2 to 3 weeks that you have it. I totally, and again, the precautions should be in place. The infection rate is going to happen, but I also don't necessarily completely agree with the idea that nobody needs to go back to work. I think that if we completely destroy the economy and create total poverty across the fucking board, I also see that as being a problem. And I'm not saying, again, take precautions, get this vaccine onto the fucking market, get better treatments, fuck bringing the kids back to school, full time and shit like that. Fuck bringing the kids back to school at all right now, really. I don't think there's any problem with remote learning. I agree with so many of the fucking precautions, but at the same time, we have to also start to understand that there's some level of reality here, that the fucking sky's not falling on this thing, that it's bad, but it's not the end all of everything either.
Well, Jersey's doing better in a lot of ways. I just hope we keep it that way. It keeps trending that way. And the numbers are going to show how we are, what's really happening. And the more the numbers go down, the less we're putting those vulnerable people at risk, because 9 out of 10 are going to survive it. Some people don't even get symptoms, but it's those people that are compromised that I don't know why it's tripping. But
I think that people are acting like I feel like people are acting like surviving it is so great. Like, not saying that it's better to die. I'm just saying, you didn't die from it. But if someone was like, oh, you're just going to have heart problems for the rest of your life, who's ready to sign up for that? Do you guys want to sign up for that? Because almost everyone I know talks about it as like the people that are anti-mask, especially. Oh, please, only this % die. Cool. Well, do you want to fucking live with the heart problems? Do you want to live with the fucking lung problems and the lung damage and
Fuck no.
I have seen when this pandemic started just how much society gives no shits whatsoever about throwing away people with disabilities and chronic illnesses. It was simply the fucking only thing you heard. Well, it's only people that have an illness or elderly that have to worry about this. Only them. They're the throwaways anyway. What do they contribute? Fuck them. And it's like, well, those same fucking people are the ones that seem to be the quickest to sign up to be part of our fucking club.
And I hope you understand that's not what I'm saying either.
Pat said this is the most dangerous time, in my opinion. People are getting too comfortable and not taking as many precautions. This can go either way pretty fast. Yeah, it can go either way in a matter of just a week.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that way.
It's more than a week. Don't you feel that? I watch the numbers every day. Fuck that.
Don't you feel? I felt that way when I'm out there. I mean, I'm working now too. I'm working around people. I have my mask on, but I'm thinking, where have these people been? You know, I know where I've been. I know where some of my circles been. If I'm around them, like the night we got some recording done, everybody's
right. And again, when I'm in close proximity with motherfuckers, silicone mask with HEPA filter, goggles, fucking earplugs, a hat that covers my fucking ears.
Well,
whole thing.
That. Yeah. I mean,
but that's why when I go get the fucking mail, my fucking face is covered because I got a whole fucking building full of neighbors and none of them fucking wear masks. They don't give a fucking shit. And I don't have a clue where any of them have been all day. They could have traveled. They could be coming back from vacation from fuck-ass fucking Florida right now. And I have no idea.
It's not. Well, some people, they can't live without, getting their hair done or DJing an event. Like for me, it was the first time. Yeah, I got the invite. I did it. But, it wasn't as fun as it should be. It was just work. It was like, I'm looking up, I'm watching people. It was great to be able to spin music again.
But dude, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for trying to get some work in a country that abandoned you when you needed money and it fucked you over. But I am mad at the person who needs to get their fucking unicorn latte and they're screaming at the fucking person who works there because they're not allowed in with a mask. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm not mad at protesters.
I think Rich got a serious point. When you're talking about exactly what you're saying, with people in the service industry who are going to work for simplistic shit, and some of it's an extreme, Rick. But what I think is the people that can't get out of their house and they act like they've been locked up for 6-7 fucking months. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Well, you're also considering something here too, though. See, how do you make the rules apply to because all right, in the Northeast or in any type of a city landscape, we have options out the ass for low-level service. For food workers. When you get out into this fucking Midwest, there might be a Dunkin' Donuts every 50 miles and nothing else around it. You know what I mean? You're talking about food deserts out in the middle of the fucking country. So how do you
if that's the case, though, if that's the case, though, then you selectively open in places that are not metropolises or high-risk areas.
Dude, one of the things that should have been done from the beginning is grocery stores should have been closed to everyone but the workers, and everyone ordered their fucking food, and everyone picked their food up at the fucking door instead of everybody going in and everybody touching everything and everybody shopping, while every worker that had to be there is now in jeopardy.
Sarah, it took them 3 months to start realizing percentage rates of people who were going to be in it. Home Depot had their shit down. Most of the other places weren't even going to offer it. They were doing curbside. Those places were allowing 75% capacity. As long as they gave the elderly the option for 2 hours from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., they opened the doors and the floodgates came in. And
not for nothing, man. I went to Pep Boys today because I needed a fucking taillight and or blinker and a reverse light for the truck. And I walked in. There was a plexiglass thing in front of the guy in front of me at the cash register. There was marks on the floor and I had a social distance. And I wasn't feeling great about being in the same ventilation system as other customers, but at the same time, I didn't feel the immediate threat of having to talk with the cashier and having them be a threat to me or me be a threat to them. So, things have improved. They have improved. Undoubtedly, they've improved.
Dude,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, exactly. And I think that's okay, but dude,
I think there's an air of flagrancy, dude. I think there's
100%.
just it's obnoxious. Rick, I don't mean to cut you off, but
please.
what bothered me the most was we crept towards this idea of, well, we're going to open up, on a plan, the way other states had opened up. You know what I mean? So there was a plan. And here's my biggest gripe, dude. You don't have to love the governor. Obviously, no one ever loves the governor. It's always going to be split. You're in a Democratic state with red areas, and we've had mostly Republican leadership. So you're never going to make everybody happy. You know, it's there's no 50-50 or even like a majority. In our state, with all the shit that got passed, all the shit that went on, you know, limiting things, closing things down, doing all that shit, and the kickback from that. When you look at the statistics in comparison to other states, all the reopened states, all the bullshit that went on in those states.
True, absolutely.
The governance here has held it within check, you know, in a manageable way. So to come across when they first reopened and all of those seaside bars, not seaside the area, but I mean like coastal area bars and regions where we live, you know, in places in Hoboken or wherever the hell it may be, that did not follow. I know personally in our county, there were several bars that didn't follow protocol, and they opened up and they were fucking mobbed. And it wasn't a matter of politics. It was a matter of what the fuck are you doing? Like,
speaking of which, if anybody out there doesn't know, there's a form that you can fill out to report businesses and people like to the state, and they will follow up on that shit. Just so everybody fucking knows that there's a legit shit.
You know what you
that
hear?
can.
Then you know
There's
what
some
you hear?
backlash.
You get the Fox News fucking master class of when they're doing. You know what? It's not just the Fox News, man. I said this last fucking show.
listen,
I
I feel bad for the kids, Rick. I feel bad for the kids. You know, like they don't get to enjoy their first 21, 22, 23-year-old years where they can go out and drink and fucking hang the fuck out.
But
like,
we knew sooner or later it was going to get like this, right? Like sooner or later, life was going to fucking, like you can't keep butt fucking the planet and each other and humanity forever and not have it sooner or later result in this. And
Yeah,
like,
and not for nothing.
Yeah.
Not for nothing, Rob. You got the 21, 22, 23-year-olds. But what about all the fucking 15, 16, and 17-year-olds that are getting curbside pickup liquor?
Right.
And you know what? That's the first time I thought that might be happening. I wasn't even contemplating that. I wasn't even. You know what? You just put that in my brain, and now I'm just
Dude,
thinking
yeah,
about
well, you want to see
how many
something that,
violations have
you
happened
want
to
to see
state law.
something that'll really stick in your brain? Look up the articles about the fucking teenagers who are dressing up like elderly people with masks on to buy liquor from liquor stores. The
That's
pictures
great.
are fucking ridiculous because they look like the stereotype of an elderly person, but like they had never actually seen an elderly person.
Oh, that's
what's
funny.
so great about that? Here's what's so great about
That's gotta
that.
be funny.
Millennials and Generation Z are the worst when it comes to any sort of general mischief because they got to film it and then put it online and then they get arrested for that shit, right? But now they get to experience the world the way we experienced it when we were young. You just run in and do some shit. No one has any idea who the fuck you are. You just run out and then no one ever fucking catches you. So they're kind of getting that 80s, 90s life right now.
That's great.
Talk about life experiences handed down.
Oh man. Could you imagine being fucking 18 right now?
Hell no! What are you fucking talking about?
And then you turn 36.
36 is 30. What are you talking about? 18 years from now?
Right. And then you look back and you go, man, you know, when I was in my late teens, we were locked down on quarantine for because let's be honest, man, this is a fucking year ordeal.
Rick, let's be honest right now. You think, I'll tell you this, if I was living right now, I would not be alive in 18 years. No chance.
Why?
I agree.
Look at all the shit that's out. Like if you look at everything that's out there, all the shit that is pressure and shit coming from everybody and the internet, everything fucking being shared, people having opinions, being split, being judged, everything. It was different when you were in cliques in high school. You know what I mean? Like, or cliques in middle school where you dressed a certain way, you acted a certain way,
Sure.
you had a group of people to hang out with, and you saw eye to eye about certain things. And there's no diversity. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty strict clique bullshit. Think about the world today, man. It's fucking hard.
I feel dude. I say it all.
I'm not giving motherfucking kids a free pass, but it's not the same in terms of interaction.
It's not the same. And Rob, I'm happy you brought it up because I say all the time, I feel like if I were starting high school now, I'm not sure I would have made it to the end because I was picked on in high school, made fun of in high school, and I was weird and when I
but
see
now you go online, you find a group of people that are just like you, or they're just spread across the country.
I agree with you on that. I agree, but when somebody converges on one person in your school and they decide to torture that person for fucking fun, I remember it might have even been 10 years ago now. There was this girl she was 15. And she was a freshman or a sophomore, and she was dating this like senior football player, and this group of girls didn't like it. And they started fucking not just mocking her, but mocking her online. I mean, it was 24-hour-a-day torture. And then one day, she's walking home from school. This group of girls is following her home. They're calling her names. The girl goes inside her house and hangs herself in the fucking closet. She's 15. And after she hangs herself, after it's news, after everybody knows about it, the same fucking group of girls goes online and they continue to make fun of her after she has died already. And I look at that and I go, on the one hand, Stones, I think that you're right. I think that every school nowadays has got a controllable culture, right? If you happen to find yourself in a bad one or a dark one of those 13 reasons why fucking cultures, and you're a little different, you could find yourself utterly mentally and emotionally fucked. Like, fucked, dude. At the same time, though, I read stories all the time. Like, I read a story recently about a student who was, I think he was autistic, and got made fun of, like, horrendously by people in his high school. Then the parents had enough. The parents had enough to the point where they moved to another town. And the kid went into high school, and somebody tried to pick on him, and the football team defended him, befriended him, and then changed his whole entire life. And then the kid became like a hero for the school. So I hear what you're saying, but I also worry for those kids that are in those situations that they can't get out of. I feel like that the internet has made that an extremely difficult thing to escape. Extreme. But
then you got what's the group of people?
It's a fucking scary world, dude.
That goth raving clip, that dance clip that they always put different music behind, and it's like a bunch of gothic kids that are raving at the same time. There was actually a name for
under a bridge. Yeah,
under the bridge, right? There was actually a name for the style of
pretty
dance.
Solid, though, man. I love those kids.
Like they would have never found each other fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah, right on. That's true. Well, here we go, right? Good and bad with everything. You're going to get people that abuse things wrong. Wouldn't it be awesome if people were just treated others with respect, let people do what they do what you do, as long as you're not hurting anyone, have at it, but
there's no example setters for children. I mean, when adults are tearing each other apart, why aren't kids doing the exact same thing? I remember when Obama was president, and there was that whole "It Gets Better" movement that took place, where with the kids, like gay kids, were committing suicide, and it was happening. It was publicized more. It's not that it was happening more. It was being publicized more during a certain time period. And then all these celebrities came out with these "It Gets Better" videos to try and let gay kids know, one day you'll find your crew. You're not alone forever and all this stuff. And Obama came out with an "It Gets Better" video, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's so great. This is so wonderful." And I'm like, this is fucking hypocritical as fuck. Like, when he made that video, Don't Ask, Don't Tell still existed, and he could have fucking gotten rid of it. So for gay kids that are suicidal, what does it mean that as long as they hide who they are, they can then be part of protecting your country? That they're only allowed to die for you as long as you don't know who they actually are. Like, so unless adults fucking act better, kids aren't gonna bully less. They're not gonna kill themselves less. It's our fucking fault. It's the fault of the fucking baby boomers and everyone else. Like, that's why bullying is so fucked up, and why it gets worse with more reach, like the internet and chat rooms and shit like that. Like, there's no compassionate there's no level of compassion that's so abundant that it teaches a lesson anymore. There is not enough empathy or compassion that is enough to fucking override.
Well, we also didn't have a paper trail attached to us. Like, we could make mistakes as kids, do fucked up shit to each other, and then you learn that lesson and we're able to move on. Now it just follows you forever.
Nowadays, people will dig around in your fucking life to find things to fuck you up on purpose. And a lot of people don't understand how maybe you went through those things, maybe realized that they were wrong or bad, and then you had a life-changing experience and you altered your behavior and you grew and those positive things reached other people. And now people, I mean, you got people who fucking examine old TV shows just for the fucking point of pulling out every unwoke moment they can possibly fucking find. I don't really see how that's beneficial. I think a lot of people who are liberal thinkers, who are progressive thinkers, people who inspired not just me, but everybody here, even in this show right now that I know, said things that were less than woke at one point. George Carlin, even Renee mentioned George Carlin in the chat. Even George Carlin has got the occasional gay joke that's a little, but like at the same time, I feel like part of what shaped me as a progressive thinker were guys like George Carlin. So if you're going to go all the way back to 1974 to pull out that one fucking joke that sounds bad, you're missing the whole fucking thing. And the problem is that people's moments, even taken out of context now, your worst moment defines your whole fucking life. Your whole personality. It's like your baseball card now.
Even if it was during the time when our differences were celebrated in comedy, you have to take it into the now context, even though back then it meant something completely fucking different.
And that's what I was saying about generations having to have a little bit of respect for their origin. And the things that they went through. Ask questions. Get to know one another. I think that a fucking boomer shitting on a fucking millennial or somebody from Gen Z is just as bad in a way as Gen Z and a millennial shitting on a fucking boomer, but only if the two are going to mutually respect each other. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't blame Gen Z and millennials for being pissed off at boomers, because boomers... You watch boomers on fucking YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and all these places. They're so fucking utterly embarrassing and racist and shitty. It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, how are we moving forward like this?
I think the solution to that problem is that if you were to have a conversation between the generations, that each generation, if you took what that generation's description of themselves were and looked at that generation as what they view themselves as, that's a way better start to the conversation than your perception of what that generation is.
I completely agree, man. I think it's a rough, hold on a minute. I'm trying to,
Getting some weird feedback. Is everyone hearing that?
Yeah, I'm hearing it. It's alien.
I think that millennials are some of the most fucked over group. They're one of the most fucked over generations, and they're continuously fucked over. They're being fucked over now. They've been fucked over. They're going to continue to be fucked over until they are old enough to hopefully run for office and get these fucking old pieces of shit out.
Or just inherit all the dead people's shit. That's our only hope.
Yeah, man. That's exactly right. Hold on, I don't know what's going on here with that noise. Let me try to get rid of it if I can.
Pat said the video's a little laggy.
Yeah, I figured that.
It sounds like a choppa.
Yeah, it sounds like the choppa.
That's an air conditioner.
Yeah, that's Alien's fucking microphone. He's not there right now. Alright. Yeah, okay, so you know what? You want me to... Hold on. He's back. Alien, your microphone's super scratchy.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
What's happening?
Oh, now it's getting better. Now it's super better.
Okay. Is that okay?
It was,
Wait.
and then it wasn't.
It's my rig here.
That's okay.
It's my rig, yeah.
Like right now, it sounds perfect.
All right. What about?
And I feel like once you settle it, it starts to do it again. Wait,
It's good.
is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Kristen said it's the FBI agents checking in. Yeah, hopefully we
Yeah,
don't have
that's actually-
mercenaries, fucking
Yeah, I had to pee.
stormtroopers.
The
And
FBI.
while I was peeing, I talked to Agent Ronald Reynolds. And, yeah, right. Menano Informa, man. Menano Informa.
Me and Pat talk about that song all the time. Informer.
Licky boom boom down.
Yeah, licky boom boom down.
I'm gonna perform that. tonight.
Alien, if you
So,
perform that,
get ready.
Get
ready.
I don't know whatever. I don't know what I'm.
You
gonna
want to
do.
hear something? If
Yeah.
he performs that, it'll be the second person who has done that song in some way in relation to our studio. And that's fucking bizarre.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint y'all, but I will not be covering Informer by the legendary Daddy Snow tonight.
Daddy Snow.
Respect and manners to Daddy Snow. Come on, Daddy Snow. He's older now.
It's funny because me and Pat used to talk about that song, and we used to talk about how everywhere we go it comes on. And ever since we talked about it, every fucking time I'm anywhere, I cannot believe how many fucking supermarkets Informer by Snow comes on in.
Wow.
It's
Man.
incredible how many. And I know
Crossover hit. He's still doing his thing.
who if Snow is.
Yeah,
Believe it
Yeah.
or not. Yeah, he put out a song. It's
All right, we're going to get him on Awesome Talk. We're going to have to get him to call
Come
in.
on.
I love Snow, man.
Get the
Police
snowman.
say to Daddy Snowby stabbed someone down the lane. A leaky boom
Yes.
boom down. Unbelievable. Hold on, let me hit the
Well,
chat
it's
for a second.
interesting.
Go ahead.
Because he's his patois is interesting because he's from Canada, right? He grew up amongst a lot of Jamaican people and started doing music and embraced the culture and contributed to the music scene. But then he added that extra. I mean, I've been listening. That's definitely a style on top of his style. So yeah, that's because I'm pretty familiar with patois and reggae music for many years.
So what do you think about that? Do you think that Snow, in a way, now we're talking about the past. Stones, this is exactly what we're talking. We're talking about a past where certain things got a pass. Does Snow get a pass because he felt so much love for that culture to do that in 1990?
I mean, I don't know the man, but I believe so, based on what I've heard and who he grew up around. He's just a young guy, a kid, and
Sure.
you get with who you get with, and jumped in, and he got a lot of love from the reggae community for that song, and actually went on to perform with some legendary artists like Junior Reid.
Wow.
And yeah, he's got a song with Junior Reid and Ninja Man, which is
shit.
it's dope, man. Actually, yeah. What's that
Wow.
called? Oh, Charge Me for Murder. Yeah, about a mama's son was Junior Reid's part. His mama's son was arrested and murder. Yeah. So
Man.
I just want to be clear. I think if you blame people for the things that they said in their past, like that long ago, that was in the vein of comedy. It's like saying a person
He
with
called it
Tourette's
snow comedy.
is cursing out of anger.
yeah. I hear you. I think it's funny that you just called Snow comedy, though. Poor Snow. Poor Snow. I think he's sincere.
I think he is too. I think he's sincere too. I loved
Yeah.
that fucking album. Lady with the Red
People can
Dress
still
on
hate
was a
on
great fucking song.
Yeah. And people could still hate on him,
Yeah, sure.
Right. Not everybody embraced the man. It's fine, but
He might have
like
been
that,
the
I think
introduction to
it's-
reggae for some people.
yeah, true.
That's a
Absolutely.
weird introduction, but
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. Yeah. Yeah, if people looked into who produced some of his stuff and who he was working with and the Junior Reid thing, it might have led them to search out that stuff. So
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Let's see. Let's take a look at the comments. I'd never want to be a teen now, Madison said. Yeah, I don't blame you on that. It's a good thing. Hold on. I want to go
Yeah, but I
back.
don't know. We were stripped of the ice cream socials. I mean, that sounded like it could have been fun.
Huh? You left
We never
a
got an
comment
ice
too?
cream social.
Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get through the comments here because there's tons of new comments. A ton of people have personally messed up voices from it. Hold on. I'm so far behind here. Let's see. This is a dangerous time, in my opinion. People are getting too comfortable and not taking as many precautions. Oh, you already read that. I think I'm just going to start telling people who walk too close to me with a mask off that if they are going to get that close, the only reason they have that mask off is that they are offering to blow me. I'll tell you what, Renee, that's a lot better. That's a lot better of an accusation than they're trying to kill me.
Right.
Pat said a ton of people have permanently messed up voices from it too. It's going to be easy to tell who had it. And that's absolutely fucking true, man. That's the other problem with the fucking coronavirus is that we're still not even where we are now. We're not clear on the extent of the after effects. So you can get it, survive it, even survive it well, and end up with fucking problems later from this shit. The other problem too with this whole thing is that it has not been on the radar long enough to know precisely what the fuck the complications are down the road. We don't know if somebody that we know got over it easily and quickly 2 years down the road isn't going to go like this. Holy shit, my heart's fucking beating the fuck out of my chest. What the fuck is going on? Like, you don't know what kind of fucking damage could be left behind from this. And
So
that's a
what?
fucking problem.
So you live in fucking fear, man? Like,
I don't
you
know,
live in
man. I'm gonna
total
tell you
fear?
exactly the same thing I told people fucking 5 years ago when I was warning people about ticks and Lyme disease. People were like, "Oh, so what am I supposed to do? Not just go camping anymore?" Yeah, motherfucker. Don't go camping anymore. If I told you there were fucking tigers out there with rabies, you wouldn't fucking go. I'm telling you,
Yeah, but I
there's an
still
insect
go
out
down
there.
to fucking South Jersey to go camping, and I know there's black bears out there, but I'm not expecting to get attacked by a
But
black
you
bear.
can see
but
a
it might
black bear.
happen.
You can't see a fucking deer tick on your balls. You can't see a
Unless you're
deer
really.
tick. And you know what I'm saying? Like
Did you say unless you're really into your balls?
Right, investigate.
Yo, I got this dick tick.
Say
I
investigate.
got this
but
dick tick I didn't see.
I think into sounds a lot better. Yeah. If you're really into your balls and you're checking them twice a day, 12 times, well, half a dozen like me, you know, and you're good.
A good baker's dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on that 7 or 8 or 9 shot. You know, 7, 8, or 9.
Check
Through
your
the-
balls,
Let's see.
Gotta just check.
young man.
Just
Kristen
searching
said,
it for that-
I went
that
out to
dick
eat.
tick.
Kristen said I went out to eat once and it was great, but the anxiety that came with that, I probably won't do it again. And again, listen, man, I'm not necessarily mad at people who've been cooped up for 4 months and they go, I'm going to give it a shot. You know, but I don't think there's any shame in feeling the way you felt. I can't even go get the mail in my own building where I live without feeling that fucking level of anxiety. The other day I had fucking groceries delivered and this is the first time this ever happened, but I'm not fucking shitting you. 5 different neighbors happened to walk past me with no masks on and all offered to help me bring the groceries up. And I was like, no, get away from me. Like, I was like, thank you for the help and shit, but like, I can't have you go near me or touch anything that I own. And then I got to
Right.
step back 10 fucking feet and wait for them to go and then wait fucking 2 minutes so the air is clear enough for me to hopefully get into my house without getting fucked up because I have no idea what these people do all day. And, they just don't. And the thing is, it's like they act like they get it. Like a guy who's, I don't want to say where exactly, but the guy downstairs was nice enough to offer me some N95 masks, but he approaches me without a mask on himself. And he's like, as he's approaching me, he's like, hey, man, I really wanted to talk to you because I wanted to help you. And my immediate response was, whoa, get away from me. And he backed up, and I was like, listen, I was like, look, I'm not trying to be nasty to you. I'm like, but like, I have a situation where I got to be fucking careful here. And he's like, I know, I understand. He's like, I will go. He goes, I have something for you. I have a mask for you. I'll go leave it on top of the mailboxes. You can pick it up whenever you feel free. But it's just like people don't fucking get it, man.
Well, everybody. We also have to understand that everybody has a different level of what personal space is, and that's what I've been encountering. Where my level of comfort around, there's a specific coworker that I have that, if it gets fucking hot on the roof, right?
Sure.
So I drop the mask when I know I'm away from people, but I got this one fucking guy. When I'm working with him, he has to fucking constantly be walking by you and making 90-degree turns into your fucking face. And he's not doing it on purpose. It's just his nature is he's trying to be a social fucking guy. So I constantly have to be on edge around him. But that's he's apologized to me profusely, repeatedly about his behavior. But it's just something he can't fucking help. So again, everybody has their own personal boundaries. That yes, it's supposed to be 6 feet or at least 6 feet, and if not, 10 feet's better than 6 feet. But a lot of people aren't going to fucking, you just have to respect the fact that a lot of people aren't going to you have to be on edge about that for sure.
Yeah, and I am on edge about it, and I don't have respect for people who don't wear a mask and just say fuck it. Because the point is the mask is not to protect you, it's to protect everyone around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't understand that. Like, how... And the people who are adamant about it, who are angry about it, the Karens that are screaming in the fucking Target and the fucking, the Starbucks.
Well, what's your personal opinion about me, Rick?
Are the first... Hold on, they're the first fucking ones to scream USA, 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 and it's like, dude, what does that mean to you exactly? Like, I want to know what that means. Like, I'm asking seriously from that side, from a conservative, actual, like a Trump conservative point of view, what do you mean by that? Because the United States is only three things. It's government, it's people, and the dirt we all stand on, right? So if you worship the government, you're already in contradiction to your own fucking party because you're supposed to believe in small government without overreach, which has shown an unbelievable amount of overreach recently, right? If it's the dirt you fucking got stuck with, I don't understand that. And if it's the fucking, then that leaves the people. And if you don't give enough of a fuck to look out for the fucking people around you, then what exactly is it that you care about when you scream the fucking United States? I don't get it.
It's not the people, it's not the dirt, it's who they see when they look in the mirror. That's what they mean.
Right. Yeah, that's more of it. Yeah.
That's basically the whole thing right there.
But let me. So Rick, I mean, what do you think? I mean, look, I'm telling you flat out, black and white, man. I am going out. I'm on the boardwalk on my bike. I am passing people, and I'm not wearing a mask when I do that. I am wearing a mask 90% of the, 95% of the other time of my life. I'm wearing a mask. I'm always wearing a mask in the store. I'm wearing ridiculous gear most of the time. When I know I'm in close proximity to people, where I know ventilation's bad, I go way above and beyond anybody that I know. But when I'm out there on that boardwalk, I am taking a risk. How do you feel about that?
Well, he's not here right now. But if you're passing people without a mask, who gives a shit how safe you are any other time? I mean, but what's the difference now? It's mandatory to wear a mask outside. So
not when you're doing heavy cardio, not when you're in a heavy cardio situation.
So is the implication that you have to bike or you'll die, or what?
Well, that's my transportation to work. Yes.
So you have no choice, is what you're saying.
That's my transportation. It's either that or take public transit, which I don't want to do that.
And you don't want to do that because it's unsafe. So you're saying that you have to marginally make other people you pass somewhat unsafe in order to protect yourself by being more unsafe because you'd have to be closer
I'm
to
saying that based on the science that I know of the situation, that the risk that I'm taking by doing the act that I'm doing is very minimal in comparison to how this thing appears to transmit.
I guess the point is just like you said, everyone's personal space is different. Maybe the person that you pass on the boardwalk would be like, "Oh no, I'm cool with that. It's minimal." And there might be people that you pass that are like, "Wow, that's fucked up. I came out here wearing a mask to protect that guy, but that guy didn't wear one to protect me." So I guess it just comes down to, like you said, everyone's personal fucking space. But don't think that you're getting away with not having anyone you pass not go, "Damn, that's fucked up," because I'm sure at least one person you passed probably thought that. And maybe some people don't give a shit. I mean, obviously a lot of people don't give a shit. If you look at the fucking numbers between our country and all the other countries, clearly we're the country that doesn't fucking give a shit.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah, because I read comments that are like important to cover. July 19th and 20th, we had less than 200 new cases. Yesterday was 488 new cases. It's obvious people seeing the lower numbers and getting too comfortable by those drops and increases soon after.
No, you can't base it off of any. You can't base it off of a 4-day. You can't base it off. It has to be at least a 2-week window.
Okay, well, let's look at the 2-week window then. I mean, like...
Right. If you look at the 2-week window, we are one of only 3 states in the nation that are actually reducing the numbers overall. Right. And the other 2 are New York and Connecticut.
Right. Well, you know, that's a positive thing, but we need to see that on a bigger scale and not have these outbreaks as there's been in other states, man.
We're on the cusp of outbreak. I'm not saying we're not.
Yeah.
We get very close.
I hope you're wrong, man. I mean, I know that
we were at
so
1.
we can either be part of seeing it through to the end where we don't go back to outbreak, or we can be part of the people that get comfortable with the numbers going down and decide to take more chances and have that outbreak come back. Because that's how they come back.
Yeah.
This could be worse. And it's going to be, I think, if people just in general start to get too lax.
I agree.
Like this is just where we are. We're stuck here. We're stuck here, man. And the part that pisses me off is that we're here because people mismanaged all of our shit.
Yep.
For so fucking long that now we're stuck here where guys like you two guys have to fucking go to work right now under these fucking circumstances because the money that you've put into the system, the time you've put into the system is not fucking paying you back in your time of fucking need. Donald Trump gave away fucking billions of fucking dollars to the banks days before this quarantine fucking started, dude. And I look at that and I just go, God damn it, man. Like, and fucking Obama is fucking guilty of the same thing, and so is Bush, and so is Clinton, and it's like, and now we're stuck with fucking motherfucking Joe Biden. And Stones, you're gonna fucking hate me for this, dude, and I don't fucking blame you, but I am 2 seconds away from voting for that fucking douchebag, and I hate that motherfucker. And I'm 2 seconds away from it because because now even, like, I'm fucking an asshole when it comes to my voting record. Like, I'll vote Green Party if that's what the fuck it takes, and I've done that for fucking years. But right now, this guy is gonna fucking kill us. And even if he dies in office in the next 4 years, the fucking evangelical asshole sitting in the throne behind him, waiting to take this fucking country over, could be worse, because that guy is actually smart and calculated. And now I got to look at people in my life that I give a shit about, and I got to go, do I have to vote for this piece of shit because this bigger piece of shit is terrifying the fucking shit out of me and creating a climate where people think that what's going on is okay and manageable? This is the guy that gave all of our fucking tax dollars the fuck away? I hate...
So did Biden.
Huh? What's up?
So did Biden. It's fucked up, man.
We're stuck with Biden. The only thing I could say about Biden, that gives me any fucking... First off, Biden is the same piece of shit we were talking about earlier, but at least if he's there, I get a 5% chance if I'm lucky that policies that people like Bernie Sanders or AOC put forward have a 5% chance of maybe sparking something that will be okay a few years
I don't
in the
believe
future.
that. I don't
really believe it either, but I believe it more than I believe it with Trump there.
Biden will not accept and push forward progressive policies. In fact, just 3 days ago, he ensured his fucking corporate overlords that nothing will change for them when he's in office. Okay? He has flat out fucking said it. He has called millennials whiny about needing health care. Okay?
I know.
Like, he is, and he also said he's the most progressive campaign. He's full of shit. And him even pretending to listen to Bernie Sanders' idea is all a facade to get votes. Like, I don't believe the guy has voted Republican more. If he had run on a Republican ticket, he would have beat Trump. He votes Republican. He is a fucking Republican in every way except the party he's pretends he's a part of. But let's be honest here, the Democrats and the Republicans, they have the same fucking overlords. Like, they're the same evil motherfuckers that don't give a shit about you. They just exploit, the Republicans exploit poor white people, and the Democrats like to exploit poor minorities and disabled people. And so pick which evil you want, because one party makes those exploited people hate the exploited people from the other party. Now find me a fucking party that says, how about we all just come together and hate the motherfuckers up top who did this shit to you? That was what Bernie Sanders did, but there's no fucking way you're going to hear Biden say shit like that. No fucking way.
Right.
I have a theory about Joe Biden, by the way. I know that everybody expects him to pick a woman for his vice president, but I don't think that's the plan.
Yeah, but here's the problem. He painted himself in a fucking corner.
He did paint himself in a corner. Now, Stones.
Now he has no choice.
Stones, Alien, let me ask you guys something. If there was one... Now, Biden promised a female vice president, right? Who is, in your opinion, the one man on Earth that he could choose as a vice president that even progressives who are excited about a woman wouldn't be mad about?
I know your theory. I already know your theory.
It's Barack Obama. If first off, it's completely legal and acceptable for Joe Biden to pick Barack Obama as his VP. 100%.
I'm leaning towards anarchy, so.
And I'm telling you right now, Barack Obama becomes his vice president, that's what people really want. That's what people
and
really
then
want.
what though?
I agree with you. I'm not saying
know?
It's a good thing. I'm just saying that's what's coming. Because people want to see a face-off between Barack Obama and Donald Trump more than they want to see a face-off between
But there
anything.
isn't going to be.
He's
not running for president. There's no debate between
They
the
will
VP
turn it
nominee.
into Barack Obama's fight.
Haven't they been doing that shit for fucking years
It's all
already?
a show
On purpose.
anyway. I mean, that would get the attention. That would get people's interest. But you could have Joe Schmo at this point. As far as anything getting done, I have little faith in the United States government at this point.
I hear you, dude.
So,
I hear you, my friend.
but definitely, I think I could see that happening, and it would absolutely make things interesting.
It would turn the whole world on its fucking head, man. The idea that Barack Obama... Look, man, listen. I didn't vote for Barack Obama the second time. I am a man of my word in politics. If I vote for you once because of your promises and you don't fulfill them, I look elsewhere. That's it. And I thought Barack Obama the first time around was a good choice because I thought even just his complexion was enough to connect with to the rest of the world and create better foreign policy and a lot of different things.
He was amazing. I remember when he spoke at the DNC before running. It was the election prior, right? That he was, and I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. He's different. But,
but he has the same playbook that every fucking Democrat does. They run on a progressive platform because clearly people want progression, and then they get in office and that goes away. Everyone called his healthcare plan socialized. Dude, forcing people to pay to fucking get insurance from private insurance companies or you're fined is literally the actual exact opposite of socialized medicine. Like, it's literally the opposite end of the spectrum completely. Like, it's not progressive if all these private fucking insurance companies still exist in your country and they're setting fucking prices that are so insane that sick people are still dying without their medicine. But you'll run on a progressive stance because people fucking eat it up, but they don't hold you to it. Or they have the excuse of, well, I couldn't pass it because, I worked across the aisle and they didn't want it and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, now we can see what it looks like.
But look, he's dancing with Jay-Z and he's partying with Ellen. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. Just like when they were like, oh, man, look at George Bush is drinking a beer just like the rest of us.
Exactly. Pandering to your base and converting others because of ridiculous.
And that's exactly what Biden is doing, attempting to appear progressive in order to get the votes he fucking needs. But the difference is Obama, it was easy for him to appear progressive. For Biden, with this fucking horrible history that this motherfucker has, and then sticking up for it even present day, it is really hard to listen to him talk about progressive policies that he allegedly has, because it's like listening to Trump say he has progressive policies and the gays love him and all this other crazy shit. Like, it's like, I get that nobody has long memories when it comes to these fucking people, but like, it's really a huge stretch of the imagination for people to really believe that if Biden is in office, we're going to get any progressive policies passed.
I watched an interview with Trump on Jay Leno back in '99 when Trump was debating on running as an independent, and he was talking about a 14.5% tax on people that make over $10 million. And he had all these progressive fucking agenda things, and like every one of them, right down the fucking list, they're gone. They're just fucking gone.
Yeah, but it's not.
The biggest lie that they try and feed to us is that the progressive policies are extremist, that Medicare for all is extreme, that people like AOC is an extremist because of the way she fights for the people in her fucking district. And nothing could be a bigger lie, because the second those motherfuckers want to be elected, they run a progressive fucking campaign, and then they get fucking elected. And the reason they get elected is because people want progressive fucking policies.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's what we are. I think Michael Moore nailed it years ago when he said we are a fucking progressive, multicultural, gay, straight, trans, fucking liberal society. That's who we actually are. And the and racist conservative Republicans just have big fucking mouths, dude. But that doesn't make Democratic candidates okay just because they're Democrats. And Pat actually is the one who fucking had a conversation with him recently, and he goes, the idea that people look at Democrats like they're the good guys is such another fucking part of the problem.
Well, people, and these nutbags play on people's heartstrings to pander to their needs and situations on both sides. And I feel bad, at people's ignorance. But the machine is powerful, and knows how to sell itself. So.
That's right, man. So, listen, I wanted to just run through the comments here because I'm way behind again here. As a friend of mine said, they were putting bodies in refrigerated trucks a few months ago. Do you really need a haircut? Good fucking question. Pat said, I have hope when I have to be near the beach or the hospital nearly every day. Wrong every day, Pat. I see the majority of people wearing masks, and from what the doctors are telling me, there are no more cases in there, and they were pretty open about it when it was happening, and it was bad. So I have no reason to doubt them. Well, I'm glad to hear that from you, Pat, because I know that you have been right on top of this as well, just as Stones has been and the rest of us have been, and we've all got a different perspective because we're coming from different places in the world, which is another reason why I love doing this fucking show. Renee said, fuck those kids. Wait, you guys were talking about not doing that before. Hold on. Let's see. Kristen said, yes, bring back the lawlessness of the 80s. Yeah, I don't know about that. You know what? I don't know if it's the lawlessness I want to bring. Look, if I could relive the 80s, I'd love to relive it with a little bit different of a mindset. And
without all the anti-gay rhetoric,
right?
Nice.
And the patriarchy, every man thinking that everything he did was completely okay, and us young men going, "Well, I could be like that someday." Pat said, "Imagine being 22, just out of college, tons of debt accrued, and the economy shuts down." Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm 41 years old with $120,000 in college debt. So I can tell you right now, it's fucking agonizing. Yet at the same time, the shutdown has almost saved me because it's pushed it off. They need to forgive that shit. Those of us, and I'm talking to Madison who's in the chat, I'm talking to Rob, I'm talking to a lot of you, we put our fucking time and effort and our care and love for people into the system. It should have paid for something. Let's see. I'd never want to be a teen now, Madison said. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Pat, we never had active shooter drills when we were kids. That's a whole nother level of mental shit right there. And I completely agree with you, man. And you know, we have shooter drills at my job. I don't like talking about my job specifically, but we have shooter drills and you know, it's absolutely fucking crazy. Oh my God, the story of the girl hanging herself is so sad. Dude, I can remember actually being verbally loud and pissed off in a fucking supermarket even over that. Renee said that video of the goth kid Stones looks like it was from about 20 years ago. That goth video is from 2011.
Oh my goodness.
Madison, yes, look at Roseanne. She made one joke and lost her show. People knew. Well, in Roseanne's case, it's a little bit different because she's got a whole other list of shit going on there too that's a little insane. I don't really believe that Roseanne wishes anybody any harm, but I do think she's batshit insane for sure.
But to be fair, if she's on a show and you are like, oh, I don't like what she stands for, you have every fucking right to be like, I'm going to turn the fucking channel.
Right. And let me tell you something. And we just live in a different world now where a TV station, a production studio is going to know that that's the public's opinion en masse now. Like, it's not just one pissed off mom's group. Like, everybody's pissed off. Like, we don't want to hear racist shit out of people who we like. It sullies your fucking... It more than sullies your fucking image.
I think the biggest tragedy with the loss of her show, like the reboot of it, was that I thought she was walking a very good line between liberal and conservative agendas.
Yeah, but then she tipped.
The acceptance of both of those things.
Yeah, but she tipped.
And then fucked it all up in her personal life.
Fucked it all up completely, dude. And it wasn't fucking Ambien that did it either.
Well, and let me tell you listen to Joe Rogan, he said it might have been.
I know, and look, man, Rogan's not wrong when he says it. I just don't agree with him. I just don't agree with him. Let's see. He got his street cred from them mean streets in Vancouver, Canada. Let's see. This is what Sarah wrote. As the government of Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau continued reforming immigration policies, instituting social reforms, and promoting multiculturalism in Canada, a larger influx of Jamaicans immigrated to the Greater Toronto area. One of Snow's neighboring Jamaican families, the Browns, first introduced the teenager to reggae, began calling him Snow and Snow White. With the help of his neighbors, Snow began borrowing and ordering reggae dub tapes to perform over. After befriending Marvin Prince, hold on, this is crazy. After befriending Marvin Prince, Prince began referring to Snow with a phrased backronym meaning superb, notorious, outrageous white boy. Snow never Snow never claimed the title himself and simply continued to perform with the stage name of Snow. You know what this reminds me of a little bit, though? Last season, Alien, I wanted to talk to you about this. Last season, we had Il Omega on. Yeah. And what was the name of that woman who pretended to be black, but she wasn't? Rachel Dolezal. And we talked because I asked you before if you thought Snow got a pass. Rachel Dolezal, her story is more interesting than the news cherry picked. And I wonder I wonder how it changes people's opinion of her, because when we started talking to Il Omega, and I'm not going to speak for Il Omega, but from what I remember, when we were talking about this, even Il Omega was sort of like, oh shit. It turns out that Rachel Dolezal, if you follow her life, she was adopted, and her siblings were all adopted, and all of her siblings were black. They were also horrifically abused in front of her. And she always felt closer to them than anybody else in the fucking world. So when she grew up, she thought that the best way that she could help people like her siblings was to be that person. And I wonder how that changes people's opinion of what she did. Because as a white woman, she could never know what it's like to be black. But when you follow her life story and you read the details, you're like, oh shit. I still don't think she could ever know.
Yeah, there's that line there, though, still. She can identify with them. She could love them. She could support them. She could speak out for them. But as a white woman, like, not black.
Yeah, so weird. But
I don't
then
know
again,
where
but where's
the wiring.
But do we need to consider her trauma? Like, do we need to consider what it's like to be an adopted child with adopted siblings and then watch your shitty parents abuse those siblings?
I think part of her trauma had to do with the fact that as far as I can remember, and I might be wrong, part of her trauma was having to do with the guilt of seeing her black siblings be abused when she wasn't being abused as well. And that, like, for lack of a better term, survivor's guilt was overpowering. I mean, as a little kid, she was little at the time. We're not talking about an adult, and that shaped her whole fucking outlook on race and how one is thought of as it's a weird story. Trauma definitely erupts in ways you would never expect it to. And clearly this was a part of a long history of trauma that was never dealt with properly or professionally. And not that gives it a pass, but it certainly helps to give it a bit of an understanding. And when you see pictures of her as a little kid, it's almost shocking. She's like so pale, and doesn't she have bright bright red hair or something? It's just so weird. Her story is just so, on one hand, it's strange because of what it led to. But on the other hand, if you take away what it led to and just say trauma can present itself in very strange ways that people don't ever expect, then no matter what she ended up doing, you kind of go, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I forget that, I don't know if she did hurt people by just what she was doing.
Dude, she was like a fucking leading member of the ACLU or some shit.
Yeah, see, so she was helping people too. I don't know. Did she physically hurt anyone, kill anyone?
No, she didn't physically. No, she just misrepresented who she was.
Yeah, not cool. But when you do get that panoramic view and you get a little more of the story, it gives you maybe a different perspective and understanding.
Right, man. And I feel like that's the case. And again, I'm not saying that gives her a pass, but I do feel like there's a level of empathy that suddenly hits when you know that part of the story. Like when you look at the way CNN or Fox News cherry-picked her story like it was a whole joke, it's so easy to be like, oh, what the fuck was this person thinking? But then when you go, oh my God, she saw her adopted siblings get abused in front of her, as a child, and she wasn't abused, and now she's responding to that. I go, again, it's not that it gives you a pass, but it's certainly at least worth a conversation. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah. So. No, you said it exactly right. It's worth
if I had to guess, and it's a long shot of a guess, but I feel like if you were a white child and you were close to your black siblings, loved them more than anything, and you saw them being abused and you were the one who wasn't, it would be hard to not think, visually, the thing that's different between us is their skin and my skin. And why am I the only one that's not being abused? And, the guilt of that, wanting to be one of them, to feel more in solidarity, more like I am one of you. Like, we are all in this together. I am your sister, and I love you. And it's not like, it's not like wanting to also be abused as much as wanting to show, I shouldn't be the special one not getting hit. We should all just not be getting hit.
Right.
I can see how that would play a role in what she ended up becoming much later on.
Yeah, that's a good point. It definitely, I think, can at least help, again, shape your understanding of it, of the situation.
Totally. Let me roll through the rest of the comments here. I'm going to expose my age. I have no clue what that... I'm not sure what she's talking about. Snow. Yeah, and of course, Pat's there right away. Album was called 12 Inches of Snow. Please listen to it, Kristen. Please listen to 12 Inches of Snow, because that came out in 90 or 91, and he was like a white guy who did reggae, and it was just like... Everybody was just like, hey, and it was like a hit song. It was like and it wasn't his only hit. He had a second hit, too.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Lonely Monday Morning.
Lonely Monday Morning. Yeah, I got it, man. I love that fucking song, dude. Let's see. Pat said, I can't stand the people in line behind you. I feel like I forever get the person that stands 6 inches from my neck and breathes on me. I told some lady the other day, you might want to back up. I might be sick. And she got the hint, but what the fuck? Let's see. Jonathan Twins in the chat. Hey, Lisa's in the chat. Pat said, can we just not have a candidate that is linked to or has pedophilic tendencies? That would be great. Good luck with that, Pat. This is America. Let's see. Kristen said, y'all, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I have way too much at stake this election. I cannot do another Trump presidency. I'm voting Biden as much as I hate it. And Kristen, look, man, I'm right there with you. I hate Joe Biden, but I don't know what the flying fuck to do. And the problem with Biden is that fucking Alien is fucking right, man. And Sarah is fucking right. We're just getting another fucking politician. There's not going to be any progressive policies that pass. But at the same time, I don't know what happens with 4 more years of Trump. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to do. They have literally painted us in a corner.
We lose the Supreme Court fully if we get another 4 years of Trump.
We might lose the country fully.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, we might do like he might live Hitler's dream out. And now that he's got Gestapo on the fucking ground in Oregon, we can stop pretending like it's hyperbole to call his fucking constituents Nazis. I'm worried Biden is going to pick Michelle Obama. I'll tell you what, if she picks Michelle Obama, I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think Michelle Obama makes much of an impact on anything. I think she's a smart woman, but I don't know how much that even matters anymore.
Just another lawyer in office.
It's a lawyer in office, exactly. It's all the same.
Dude, everyone had such a vehement hatred. I have friends that hated her, and the reason why is because, and this blew my mind when it came out of the fucking person's mouth, because she tried to force her kids to eat certain foods in school. It's like, yes, sorry, I guess eating healthy when you're a child is only important to some people. There shouldn't be fucking soda machines in elementary schools, dude. Sorry, the fuck, she was right.
But you're talking about my American liberty to drink a Coke.
Coca-Cola.
I drink a Coca-Cola. I have choices. I got either Pepsi or Coke. That's
by the way, it's not classic Coke without the cocaine in it, man. Fucking gotta change that.
No shit, Stones.
Yeah,
no shit.
Since they took that out. Been off it since they took that out. I'm not interested.
I've been off it. Let's see. Bro, imagine that.
Been off the cola.
Bro, imagine that. And then Biden slaps down to let Obama be president, steps down to look, man, I got to tell you something. An Obama presidency doesn't fucking make me too upset. Not as upset as a Trump presidency does, but again, we're going right back to business as usual. We're right back to corporations fucking us up the ass, but they're fucking us up the ass now harder and way less blatantly. And I think I almost fucking prefer the pretend veil at this fucking point. At least it keeps people from dude, I saw a fucking video today of a fucking old white man. He must have been fucking 80 years old, rolling past a car full of black people, and he screams out the fucking window, "If it were 50 years ago, I would have hanged you motherfuckers." And I'm like, you fucking people cannot be emboldened anymore to behave like this. This needs to fucking go away. Then, oh my God, now we're getting way down the rabbit hole. Then I look at fucking Democrats hoping like fuck that people like me think that way, so I vote for a guy like Biden, and it's working. And like, they have figured out how to paint people like me into a fucking voting corner where I don't know what to do anymore. And I have fucking Zeitgeist tattooed on my chest. Like, I give a shit, dude. Like, this is a fucking ugly situation. If he was smart, he'd pick Elizabeth Warren. I actually kind of agree with you on that, Kristen, but Elizabeth Warren dug her own grave when she went after Bernie Sanders for bullshit. And she went after Bernie Sanders for bullshit based on Hillary Clinton's fucking campaign manager's opinion. And I feel like that ruined her permanently when she did that, man, because nobody in their fucking right mind believes for a second that Bernie Sanders ever believed that a woman couldn't be president. And I think that she fucked herself when she fucking did that. That was a bad move. It was an ugly move, and it was a DNC motivated move at least I'm just saying it's the way it looked to me.
Yeah, well, just remember, she used to be a Republican. Everybody seems to forget that part of her.
Not only was she a Republican. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to I'm sorry. She'd be the first Native American woman to run, right? I don't know. I'm just making it bad. I'm just busting her chops, right? Isn't she the one that...
I love the fucking memes of her, like, with the Native American tribes.
Oh my
dude.
God.
Come on, man. But the DNC's got a long history of that shit, too. That shit where they were trying to show solidarity with Black Lives Matter, and they're wearing all the African colors. It's like, oh my God, man, you guys just don't get it, do you? Like, I get that you're like, you guys remind me of like AI programs who are trying to figure out how to be human. Like, that's what it looks like.
Is that what it is, or are they trying to create an environment where it's allowing people to be divisive? Because I think that's what that's doing more.
Well,
I think that's the reason
they
that
certainly
happens more.
listen, man. You're totally right in a way. I think that they benefit from divisiveness just as in the same way the Republicans fucking benefit from it. And if they can do something that makes Trump look even worse, they're gonna fucking take it. And in one respect, I don't blame them. In the other respect, I have every reason to be cautious of them because they're pieces of shit. So, like, Nancy Pelosi's not a good person. She's a fucking asshole. I thought she was Trump's Renfield for a while there, for fuck's sake, because of how little she actually did to prevent his bullshit from fucking happening. She did nearly next to nothing for a long fucking time. Let's see. Kristen says, the thing that honestly freaks me out is Trump is playing at creating an authoritarian regime. He's got no problem with sending his secret police out to arrest protesters. He's got his own propaganda machine. His followers are willing to do anything for him. He's corrupt as fuck. These are all very real warning signs. I don't think Biden is any better than Trump, but Trump is rolling out the carpet to Trumpocracy. And let me tell you something, Kristen. It's precisely where the fuck I'm at right now. It's precisely where the fuck I'm at right now. I gotta go. Is government is business as usual better than Trump business as usual? And that is a fucked up place to fucking be in. But I would I've been waiting to say this on this show, but I will say this to all my friends who are fucking Democrats: if I vote for Biden this time, this is motherfucking the last vote in my entire life that I throw toward your shitty ass fucking candidate. Start stepping your fucking toes to the line and start fucking demanding that your party put up more worthy progressive candidates. If they're gonna come in and pretend to be the hero, then put some fucking heroes up there, because I can't do this again, even in the face of another Donald Trump. I cannot do this again. Let's see. Pat says Biden released his plan recently and had a price of $785 billion, and reps are already jumping all over it. Yet I owe $190,000. Dude, I get it. Scott's in the chat. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I agree. Biden is an ass, but I am dead ass terrified of another Trump presidency, and they did that to us on purpose, and we need to recognize that, because next time out. Yeah, that's bullshit when I say it. I was going to say next time out the DNC doesn't get to do this, but I feel like we say that every motherfucking 4 years, and they do it again to us anyway. We don't have any fucking actual representation. Off topic, her hands were fucking huge. Okay, let's see. Definitely in a bad corner. Yeah. I was super disappointed with what Warren did. Me too, man. It ruined it, and I knew it ruined it. Blaze is in the chat. What's up, brother? Abolish. Pat says abolish the DNC. Abolish the DNC. Abolish the RNC, and let's start the fuck all over again, man. Because this shit, they have painted us. Speaking of Coca-Cola, they have painted us in a political corner where we're left to believe we have choices, but all we have is Coca-Cola and fucking Pepsi. And I'm sick of that fucking conversation. Alien Man, I'm sick of that conversation. We watched a fucking documentary last night about the LA riots. And the shit that people were chanting during those fucking riots, the shit that was going on, it's exactly the fucking same. And it was 1992 for fucking sakes. And now we're here again.
And the same thing in fucking 68, man. There's the same fucking chance in 68, man. It's like almost it's just below 30 years, almost like every 27, 28 years we get another fucking uprising now. Like now there's a fucking repeating pattern.
We are in a cultural loop. We're in a loop. Yeah. And they keep looping it because the same powerful assholes and the same powerful families, as long as you keep fucking promoting TV the way you do, the words the way you do, the politics the way you do, keep bringing up the same issue over and over again to the next generation over and over again, there's never any real fucking progress. It's just fucking
slogans.
Dude, there's this episode of Doctor Who where they go to this planet and there's this war going on between people, like humans, and these aliens. And the soldiers keep saying, this war's been going on for decades. This war's been going on my whole life. And towards the end of the episode, you find out that these people aren't born. They're basically created almost in a machine, and then they come out as adults. And they're basically told, this war has been going on your whole life. This war has been going on your whole life. And they just keep regurgitating it. But the truth is, the war hasn't really been going on that long. But it doesn't matter because they don't fucking know that. They just are told, you're a soldier. This is a war. This is the war that's always been here. Those are your fucking enemies. And that's who you have to kill and protect yourself from. And we're basically all living in a fucking Doctor Who episode until we're smart enough to know better.
Right. Yeah, but it's kind of, it's like why I agree with Rick when he says, like, burn it all down. And people say, well, that's not the answer. We got to win through the system and win through, but how long do you continue to try to knock on? How
do you win through a broken system?
I feel like
Bernie Sanders was the closest I've ever seen to someone attempting to win through our broken, shitty system. And that motherfucker walked away from it.
Well,
Sorry,
look at it. I mean, they robbed the DNC from him 4 years ago, right? I mean, it was.
Yep. There you go.
But these blatant crimes are beginning to happen more and more right in front of our faces, and it's almost like people are being conditioned to
accept it.
Yeah, just like, oh well, I'm still going to go this way because that's just what we do.
Exactly. That's exactly right, dude. In 2016, they kept saying, you have to vote for a Democrat because the idea of a Trump presidency is too scary. And then before that, when, with Obama, it was like, you have to vote for Obama because the idea of blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no matter what, it's always going to be too scary to go the other route. But at some point, people are gonna be like, fuck all of you. I'm not going to be scared into shit forever. Fear politics always win until they don't. But I just don't believe that our system is fixable. I feel like there's too much.
I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it for years on this show. I think that the people I think a large portion of the people who voted for Trump voted to destroy the system.
Yeah, but it didn't go. But it didn't go the way they thought it would.
No, it went even better because a system was created that upholds their innermost racist bullshit beliefs. So it went even better.
No. Listen, moderates win elections. The moderate voters win elections.
Yeah, the do-nothing moderates who do fucking nothing win elections. Yeah, because everybody's complacent with the status quo until the status quo is knocking down their fucking door and dragging them away.
But you're saying that the moderate voters are the ones that are racists. Moderate voters win elections. The moderate voters that voted for Trump, I think that the people who actually won the election.
Wait, can I ask you something?
Wanted to burn down the system, and they weren't racist.
Do you think we're in the same position now that we were in 4 years ago? Do you think the moderates are the ones that are going to decide this? Because I feel like people are more polarized one way or the other in bigger numbers. And to me,
here's the thing. He's saying that a lot of them were just moderates; they weren't racist. But here's the thing that I am having a hard time with: Trump's sexism, misogyny, racism. That wasn't something that came out after he was president.
No, they voted to destroy the system.
No, fine, but my question is, if you're willing to overlook someone's blatant racism to put them in an office where they then have to represent those minorities and are clearly not going to do it well if they're fucking racist and they're misogynist, simply because you want him to do something for you, how does that not make you a fucking racist too?
Wait. Who said that they wanted him to do something for them? You
just said they voted him in because he was going to take down the system. Well,
not take it down in some heroic fashion. Destroy it in the worst possible way.
He did that. He did fucking destroy it in the worst possible. Literally, this is the worst possible way. He did that. He won. So they got what they wanted then. Not the way they thought they'd get it. But my point is, if you fucking vote for a racist because of some other policies or ideas he has, that doesn't make you not a racist because in your personal life.
It's not because you agree with his policies or that you think that he's not a racist. You can think all you want that you should know that he's a racist. He's been accused of that for 30 fucking years. Obviously obviously all those terrible things, but people looked at that terrible thing and they said, that's the guy who's going to fucking burn this shit to the ground. He's going to be the one that's going to fucking create the embers that are going to burn this shit to the ground. And it hasn't worked out the way they wanted it to work out in the exact way that they wanted it to work out. But at the same fucking time, I don't disagree with that mindset. And I'm not racist, but I don't disagree with the mindset that the reason they initially voted for him was to burn it down.
And that's why I said 4 years ago, the people who wanted to vote for Bernie are more like the people who wanted to vote for Trump than anybody else.
Exactly.
People had the same mindset, except Trump came in with one extreme and Bernie came in with a sobering, fucking comfortable, good, nurturing reality.
Right. Bernie didn't get a chance to run against Trump.
Right. Could you imagine Bernie against Trump? It'd be a whole other fucking election. But listen, guys, Listen, we've been at this for a while, man. Alien, can you perform tonight?
Depending on how my music comes through, hopefully that's half decent, and I would love to.
Your audio's a little scratchy still, but whenever you hold whatever it is you're holding, it stops being scratchy. So if you could hold it while you perform, I feel like it would be better.
That's what she said.
Is it? Yeah. Word up. Whoa, hold on. Stole my joke, Sarah. You stole my thunder.
See that right there? Where you are right now? The noise has stopped.
Just so you know, my phone's down to 5%.
Okay, all right.
What if I go like this? What if I go like that? Is it bad again?
Just a tiny bit.
right,
Stop. The problem went away.
All right, I'm gonna wind up when I start. I'm gonna wind up just holding it.
Okay.
Hold this thing.
Listen. People watching, look. Y'all are fucking
Investigate
human
my
beings.
balls.
You understand? Alien's got his rig. He's doing the best he can. We might get a little bit of interference, but I want that fucking love. But listen, man, I love tonight, and Rob wanted me to tell everybody he's sorry he had to go. He had a personal matter to take care of tonight, but he loves everybody. And I want to say to everybody in the chat that I'm so happy that you guys were here commenting tonight. I'm so glad to see everybody here every week that we fucking do this, man, because since the quarantine started, and I've said this a dozen times literally, and I'll say it a dozen more, I feel like this does a lot of good for my sanity, and I hope it does good for sanity for people out there. We're having a lot of fucking really hard conversations on this show lately. They are difficult, uncomfortable conversations, and I'm proud to be able to have a forum where we do that. And I want to say to Alien, man, I love you so much, dude, and I'm so fucking glad to see you again, and I'm so fucking glad that you did the show tonight, man. So,
oh, thanks, man. I love you guys too. You guys are the best, man.
Before you perform tonight, is there anything that you want to say, or anything you want to promote, anything you want to put out there?
What can I tell you? Music-wise, some things are happening in spite of this quarantine. You know, just did the track with Rockasset. Banged out a couple a while back with Billy Blaze.
Nice.
So looking forward to those. You guys hearing them. Starting work on a much anticipated by a select few, and hopefully you guys will be happy about this EP or album.
Okay.
So
awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, so I'm gonna put some work into that. We're building it from scratch. Me and my homie Quiet. Producer from Trenton that I've known for years.
Can I offer something to you?
Yeah, man.
If you need any fucking metal screaming vocals, please reach out to me. It would be an honor to work with you.
That would be something that I think we should develop, man. Yeah, that would be cool.
Love it, dude. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I want to build it from scratch, so it's probably going to take some time. But so I'm doing some things. In the meantime, with a couple tracks coming out, and then the one with Rockastet, stuff with Billy, and I want to still put stuff out there, and hopefully we'll be able to get out there and perform again. I don't know how, what's going to happen. I'm optimistic one day, pessimistic the next, but I'm going to continue trying to safely record some music and use this time to create. The producer I'm working with, we're building the music. He's cooking up the music, but I have input on that, and we're trying to get a vision for what I want to do and what he wants to do. And so we're going to collab and really take our time with building it. So I want to get creative with it and do some dope stuff.
Dope, man. Dope.
So So other than that, I playing DJ wise, doing the gig over at the Joint on 4 p.m. Sunday. No requests because we're social distancing, so stay out my face. But hopefully that goes as well as it did 2 weeks ago. That was the first time I was out amongst people that I guess weren't coworkers, and that I had to worry about, getting too close to people. But Everybody was masked up and socially distanced, and he's got outdoor dining with the tables separated, and those folks were distanced from me, so I personally didn't really have to worry about it. I got in there, I set up, and did my thing for a few hours and was out. But
I know he's a smart, good dude, man. He runs his shit fucking clean, man. So
hell of a burger too. So looking forward to maybe another burger and some beers and some good ganja on Sunday. And so,
So everybody watching right now, keep in mind, like we're obviously this is not in the studio here. We're doing the best we can. Alien, what are you going to perform tonight?
Well, I have a couple things, if that's cool. I might have like 5-6 minutes.
Fuck yeah, dude, please.
Dude, anything you want, man.
Cool. I'll go right into it then. I've never performed this particular song, so the first one, hopefully we don't lose people and this isn't a total mess. If that's the case, it should be funny though, so somewhat entertaining. But it's my writing is, I dabble into this will touch on some things we were even talking about. So
Good.
I kind of like
Homie, you are a master lyricist. I have absolutely no doubt
man.
it's going to be amazing. No doubt it's going to be fucking amazing, dude.
All right, well, shoot. In that case, I'll stop BSing.
Let's
Just
do it.
go with
Everybody, DJ
let me
Alien.
know how this word up. Greetings, y'all. I am excited to be here. As per usual, Awesome Talk is the place for awesome talk. And let's go back here. Okay, let's see. Let me know how this volume sounds for a second. Wait, give me a minute here. Maybe I should take the headphones off. Can you guys hear that music at all? Yeah? Oh, all right. Yeah? Cool. All right. Let's do it. All right. This is called Skirmish. Yours truly, Alien. Shout out to Rick, Sarah Stones, Rob, Rock Cassette, my man Lagoon. You know how he does it. Goes like this. Cats walk around with no sight or vision. It's like the here and now is the only position. Man need to look ahead and know the condition of the times that we live in and the signs that we're given. Blood, moon, earthquakes, herald of apocalypse, information age, front page of the politics. People consumed by the lights of the rifles, scandals, vandals, ISIS. I said what? People consumed by the lights of the cycle, scandal, vandals, ISIS, rifles, clash of the titans, 2.0, alien info, resurrect the flow, back to the lab with a gene of a hybrid, man scientist, eyes like, look what I did, wise to the game, aim looks like right on, thick skin, backbone strong like climb on, room for the youth to engage in the warfare, ultimately they've got to be prepared. This is not fear mongering, this is not a class in wallowing. This is not a beggar borrow thing. We go hard, react and stay on guard. So follow me. Go, 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 go. Strapped with the truth bomb. Turn clenched fist. Loose palms turn to clenched fists. Loose palms turn to clenched fists. Loose palms turn to clenched fists. What kind of sorcery is this? Fact of the frame is its station, like Aztec monuments and shrines of the ancients. You want to play around, I lose patience. Now is the time for disclosure arrangements. Seeking and finding a light can be blinding. Eyes are accustomed to one kind of sighting, but we are redefining the game and aligning the facts in a way that there'll be no denying. And trying to hide is a futile mission. Meanwhile, the empire plans our derision. And I don't mess around in this realm of science fiction. I'm a bona fide redesign, prime vision. Looking up to the heavens, old school bounty killer, Big Mac 11s. They mess around, I resist, hold 7 to my last breath, jet send them ghosts from the present. Yeah, goes like this. This is not fear mongering. This is not a class in wallowing. This is not a beg and borrow thing. We bang hard, react and stay on guard. So follow me where I am. Yeah. Loose palms turn to clenched fists. Loose palms turn to clenched fists. What kind of sorcery is this? Yeah, man. So there's that one. I hope y'all were digging that.
That was fucking great, dude.
Fucking awesome,
Thanks.
man.
I do have some more.
All right, let's roll. Let's do it, man.
Keep rolling. I'm just gonna keep rolling.
Twist that plug one more time.
All right. Let me know if that music's okay.
I can hear it. It's dope.
Oh my goodness. All right. We're journeying through different chapters of my brain. I'll try to hold the phone so I'm somewhat in view. It goes like this. I think my AC might kick on. I'll try to work with that. He had the gift of gab, he had a pen and a pad. He liked to write to the rhythm and record in a lab. He liked the late night life, all the sounds and the lights, people and the places and the moments so nice. He had jokes to crack, he had an act for soul. He had the crowd in a trance under his control. He liked the late night life, all the sounds and the charm. A true gentleman, pretty girl on his arm. And those are facts I'm looking at. Acts 1, 2, and 3 in the rear view. The highs and the lows, roads I choose to steer through. Pay attention when he's getting his ear chewed. And suddenly the verse pops up out the clear blue. I'm lost in the sauce and the hum of the bass line, the drum and the keys. These moments replace time before FaceTime. Never seen it as waste time. The joy is reflected. You can see how my face shine. We bust these raps before snaps and posts. When girls would jump ropes and kids still had hopes. And I would bump smokes and ghost on whack folks. Proceed to blaze weed and speed on dark roads. Explode with dope pros. Oppose the most foes with flows no one knows. A king no one chose. The gods are dethroned. I'm owned once again. Kinda wild to think about what it's been. I like to give the gab. I got a pen and a pad. I like to write to the rhythm and record in the lab. I like the late night life, all the sounds and the lights, peoples and the places and the moments so nice. He had the jokes to crack, he had an act so he had the crowd in the trance under his control. He liked the late night life, all the sounds and the charm. A true gentleman, pretty girl on his arm, and those are facts. Just a little snippet of that one.
Woo!
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. So I think I'm gonna go right into this last one, which is kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go into it.
Go for it.
Tell me what y'all think about this one. Give me 1 sec to cue it up. My pen was just going one day. And I think if I can be so bold as to announce this one, I believe is going to wind up being a collab with the one and only Nikki Nailbomb.
I thought you were going to say, if I can be so bold, this is going to be a classic. I thought you were gonna...
Well, maybe if once Nikki, blesses it, that's possible.
Dude, it's going to be awesome. You guys together, that'd be great. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, man, Nikki's the shit, dude.
She's gonna do something. The beat might change a little. Do something musical. She might play some guitar and also add some vocal flair. So, but again, we just haven't been able to meet up, and we'll see if we could work something out virtually. So, here we go. Excuse me. All right, goes like this. Don't feed the land sharks. Take 2, trip to the Ozarks. Grease up the gears in the old parts. Nuanced pleadings. Note how the clouds start bleeding. Stormproof shouts at the meeting. There will be no delay in delivery. Discard the rubbish from the brain, but do not remove the chivalry. Tell me what it's worth first. Bad news comes and makes a smirk burst. Put your whole force into reverse. Perplexing. Nowadays I prefer texting. Hands tend to shake when I'm sketching. Life is not a circle, it's a death ring. Who played sniper in the cipher and paid a piper while nesting? Are we even supposed to be here? Well, that's rhetorical. Burn through fog till you see clear. Weigh all options. Proof in the act of enterprising. All salty fish and seas rising. Gasp at the humor of Poseidon. Do not wait for the crash to warn the beach or sound a siren. I read what's written. Who you telling? There is not a bomb or a rifle that could stifle the rebellion. Shift in the modus operandi. Some don't want change. They don't like anything. They're just anti. How can the defeated hold a hand high? No footprints, no trail left behind. Just a scanned eye. Freeze frame. Draw something dubious. This here puzzle in the pan needs more iron-rich nutrients. Class was intended for the students. Uh-oh. There's like a few more lines left. I gotta fix that. Hold up. Professor Ricker, appreciate this.
You got it.
Class was intended for the studious, yet no matter the amount of notes taken, they'll be guessing out the gluteus. Farmed fresh, black suits require you to farm less, rooting for a massive and collective sort of last breath. Do not forget to smell the roses. Always watch your 6 for a signal as the last act approaches. Yeah, goes like that. I can't hear y'all. Hold up. No, there you guys are. That's it. That's all I got tonight. That's what's cooking in the kitchen.
Dude, thank you so much, man. And thank you so much for being on the fucking show tonight, dude. You were fucking great tonight as usual, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And I sincerely cannot wait for the day that we can do this face to face again. I really mean that, dude. I really fucking mean that.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
And I'll tell you what, I hope you do a fucking track with Nikki Nailbomb, because I would love to have you and Nikki Nailbomb in the studio together doing a fucking track live. That would be unreal, dude.
Oh, that would be phenomenal. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit over the past week, so we'll see.
Yeah,
so again, I want
dude.
to put some time and some thought into building dope songs.
Hell yeah.
I've been trying to work on my storytelling. Sometimes I just tend to get off on a lyrical tangent, which is cool and all. I love wordplay. That's one of my favorite things about hip hop.
Sure.
Just being able to, put words together that make sense. But I guess what some people would describe as lyrical, metaphorical. But I'm trying, I'm older now. I don't want to tell my story. So I want to talk about things and, put some things together.
Hell yeah, dude. Look, man,
So
you're one of the best lyricists I've ever met, man. Hands down.
Man,
dude.
I really appreciate that,
Best
man.
lyricist, dude. You have a natural fucking, not just a natural ability, but a seasoned ability to go in and fucking do this right, man. I just so appreciate you being on, brother.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys.
Love you too,
Dude,
man.
we love you too, man.
And listen, man, we love
We
everybody.
just got a shot of that infamous air conditioner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, man, right in the wall. You go blow your mind.
And listen, man, we love you. We love everybody who watched tonight. Thank you so much. I'm gonna close.
And this was the closest we've had to Pat being on the show in months. Dude.
Pat.
Listen,
I love you. I miss you.
There's a lot of reasons why he hasn't been on the show, but today's reason was because his fucking microphone, again, he couldn't get it to work. So can we just all collectively send him so many microphones that there's no possible way he'll have a broken microphone on the next show? Just everyone in the chat will all just send microphones.
Yeah, there's a donate fucking place I put in the description. Whatever money gets donated, I'm gonna fucking buy a microphone rig for Pat. 100%.
Yes. Cool.
Alan, we love you,
throw
dude.
down.
We love you, dude. Thank you for being
Much
here.
love, man. No doubt. And anytime is happy. For a while there, I was off the grid, and a lot of weird stuff. We got to hang and talk. So
yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that,
man.
please.
Happy to see your face and that you're healthy and well.
Even if we
Thanks.
just hang like
Appreciate
this,
that, sir.
man. You fucking Skype into the studio. We have a few fucking drinks.
Yeah,
We
cool.
talk. I think that'd be dope.
all right, cool.
All right.
All right. That sounds good.
All right, man.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here,
Later.
brother. Thank you.
Good night, dude.
Good night, man.
All right.
And thank you to everybody for being here tonight. Listen, I'm going to close out with the rock cassette Mill Hill anthem with Ray Strife.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fucking encore from last week. Last week we aired that. We premiered it here, and we're going to close with that. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched tonight. Please like the show and share it. And I want to tell Alien, I love you so much, brother. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being on the show. And we're going to close out, man. And I will see you all next week. All right.
I don't believe in love.
Still will, kill, swill, blood stains, cheap thrills, beat the fuck out your boyfriend at Mill Hill.
We're at the Mill Hill where we happen to kill it. Back and we fill it with the illest, chillin' with the realest music crew. Real as a film and it's feeling like a movie too. Shooting to the moon and my dude Lagoon is booming through. In a van with weed man, feeling like it's Scooby-Doo. We found a spot when we turned around the block like Rubik's Cube. See the bass bumping when it rumbles with the thunder sound. Music coming out from the basement cause it's underground. Searching to kill, holding urban appeal. There ain't a hole in my pocket when I'm burning a mill. Stairwell blazing weed, y'all blatantly won't take a stairwell cause my eyes shoot laser beams. It's Frankie B, always reppin' Nazi rock cassette. Feel the draft even if you tip the doors like rock cassette. Dropping bread like Uma Thurman when I kill Bill. $1 at a time till we got a Mill Hill. Yeah, when the beat drops in the stairwell we twist up the sweet spot. Yeah, when the beat drops, if the door locks it opens with 3 knocks. Yeah, When the beat drops, 4 sticker walls around the stage, we rock, yeah. When the beat drops, it's a Mill Hill set, we'll make you wanna rewatch.
Tupac the tour rock, the dinosaur hunter. Dudes stuck in their wonder years, mistook it for hunger. Mill Hill is the headquarters for old heads and youngsters. The basement is for hip hop, but it was founded by punker. I've been there every night for a decade and a half. Drowning my sorrows while still laughing at crap. Used to run out on my tab, now I'm part of the staff. Lied on my resume, got by on basic math. Enticed by the drink, seduced by the music. Always open doors back up after a shooting. Sometimes I got a box, but it's still the spot that's soothing. Who would have thought a dark, dirty basement would move me? Been all around the globe eating bohemian pizza. Paris is a runner-up, but Stripe, Trenton needs ya. A city full of artists, but it's not for the weak, bruh. The Mill Hill basement, South Broad Street, love.
Yeah, when the beat drops, in the stairwell we twist up the sweet pot. Yeah, when the beat drops, if the door locks, it opens with 3 knocks. Yeah, when the beat drops, 4 sticker walls around the stage, we rock. Yeah, when the beat drops, it's a Mill Hill set, we'll make you wanna rewatch. Yeah,
Bill will kill, swill, blood stains, cheap thrills, beat the fuck out your boyfriend at Mill Hill. Bill will kill, swill, blood stains, cheap thrills, beat the fuck out your boyfriend at Mill Hill.